Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube and Twitch channels. I'm sorry that I've been not here all weekend, so I'm back. We're going to have a fun stream. I've got a bunch of different things for us to look at today. Oh, excuse me for clearing my throat like that. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of fun stuff I thought I'd react to with you guys. Because it's been a bit since I've been here. It's been since Friday. Since flippin' Friday, you guys. So that's inexcusable of me. I apologize. So I've got Twitch chat up. I've got YouTube chat up. So I'm ready for everybody to be here and say hi and just talk and we're gonna have a fun time. Let's stand up and do our beginning of stream stretch and outfit check since we're on solo cam. Oh my goodness. I did a lot of walking today. I think I walked about 4 or 5 kilometers today, so that's a good thing. But my hip hurts. So that's not a good thing. But we'll deal with it. We'll have a good stream. And I am here early enough that hopefully I can have a break between this and the combat hour. And yes, I do plan on having a combat hour tonight. And we are going to postpone the money match up until, what's it called? Up until next Saturday. Because the BFGC King of the Hill is moved to next Saturday. And I would like to take a chance to enter. And take a chance to win that money and put that towards the pot. So that's my plan. And if you'd like to help fund the pot, you can donate to streamlabs.com/blindpress. And then that will be part of the King of the Hill, the blind money match between me and Blind Hestia, who is another blind woman. The only other one that I actually know of that is a blind gamer, and she's also a mom, so that's kind of cool. So I'm trying to figure out what to title this money match on Saturday. Because it's two blind moms in a first to 10 money match. So that's what I'm trying to come up with a cool title for it. But I haven't quite figured that out yet. So I'm taking suggestions if anybody wants to come up with a cool title for this Saturday's money match. So that'll be this Saturday, today's the 12th. I can do math. I really can. It'll be the 17th, I want to say. Yeah, the 17th of August will be the money match and the King of the Hill. So that's what we're aiming for. It'll be a good time. Hestia has a mean scorpion. She plays a few characters really, really well. I've only got my Tanya and my Ashra, and I've really been focusing on my Ashra Farah. It's a duck dog. You can see me. Oh, good.
Why is
Oh,
your
you
camera
can't
not on?
see me. Uh-oh. That's not good. Did it work? Hopefully it worked. Can you see now, Duck Dog? We're good? Okay, good. Hooray! We're good. I can be seen.
You're all set.
Okay. So let's stand up again and do the stretch and the solo. Let's stand up again and we'll do our stretch so you guys can see our pre-stream stretch or our beginning of stream stretch. Oh. I'm really trying to stretch the back part of my... Right here is the problem part. Right in the joint of my left hip where it connects to my spine. It's... yeah, it's very annoying. Oh, that's better. I'm all stretched out now. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Pinky to the rescue, right? Exactly. This stream would be literally nothing without Pink Hollow. So we've got a whole bunch of videos to go over. Let me go over here. And we're gonna start with our comedy sketch, which I'm pretty sure is what is supposed to be the starting of. Is supposed to be the opening video. And it's a Matt Rife video, so I'm sure this is another thing that's made him canceled. So we'll see just what Matt Rife said. Because he said Whitney Cummings is Ghislaine Maxwell. Which, oof. That's a pretty heavy joke there, Matt. So let's see what this has to say.
What if Too Lazy to Try were right, that something dark and demented is stirring within Whitney Cummings? Look at these glossy eyes. Hollywood has really done a number on her. Something tells me that Whitney Cummings is one of those Hollywood actresses who will do anything to regain her youth, even if that means at the behest of a young woman.
I remember thinking, this is so unfair. People should be able to go out and have a couple drinks and have fun and not get famous overnight for it. But
and have it thrown on the internet.
Are you close to having a house a month later?
That's a good point. That's a very, if you get up famous on the internet and you have the if it works, you have the capacity to get very far very quickly.
At first I was like, I need to get this girl in here. I want to give her the big hug and show the internet that she's not in. This is so traumatic for her. But I feel like you've already sublimated it into something so triumphant and fun and positive.
You seem good.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm jealous of you. I mean, it's like, honestly, there's this, you so clearly have such an amazing personality. You're a star. I mean, you're just a star. I don't know what to tell you. And
this is weird. This is like this weird ass kissing.
Okay, I think you're missing out on this. You know who she's talking to, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, so this is Whitney Cummings' podcast, and she's got the Haktuye chick on. The Hawk 2 chick. You never heard about this chick?
Nope.
Okay, so you remember how we had the Oilers girl who flashed the camera and everyone. Well, this was the football or something version where she just looks in the eye. You just got a Hawk 2 on that thing. That's all she said. And she blew up, and everyone thinks she's an industry plant. I'm pretty sure she's an industry plant.
Okay.
And this is like 7-8 weeks now. This chick has been going on this high. It's really annoying. And people are getting really annoyed with her, too. Because everything is Hawk. That's the HAWKTUAHUC everywhere.
Okay, like she's, like, spitting on
Yeah,
people?
spit on the dick and spit to lube.
That's, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's, like, famous overnight. And so Whitney Cummings interviewed her. But she's really creepy.
Well, this is like an ass-kissing thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're a star. You're
that
this.
thing is later on is coming up.
Huh?
Listen to the narrator, okay?
Okay.
you clearly have such an amazing personality. You're a star. I mean, you're just a star. I don't know what to tell you. And like, honestly, there's
You're a star. I don't know what to... This is weird. Why are we doing this?
To get famous. Like, I'm the idiot that, you know, was going club to club as a comic for 15 years. Like, this is the way to do it.
How long have you been in this?
20 years.
20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to be as famous as you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell? I would like to be as famous as you. Why? Why would you like to be as famous? would you like to be as famous as her for what she said, or would you like to be as famous as her for like a good reason?
For saying 2 words.
Like walking into a.
Oh, of course, for saying 2 words. Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean,
Ah, fuck. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me back this up.
you so clearly have such an amazing personality. You're a star. I mean, you're just a
thank
star.
you.
I don't know what to tell you. And like, honestly, there's
That giggle.
way worse ways to get famous. Like, I'm the
There's way worse ways to get famous.
idiot that, you know, was going club to club as a comic for 15 years. Like, this is the way to do it.
How long?
Okay. Okay, Whitney. That's kind of gross, but all right, sure. You go, queen. I guess. I don't know.
How long have you been in this?
20 years.
20 years.
Mhm.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to be as famous as you for saying
Hey,
2 words.
Like walking into a parents or something, and everybody's like looking at you when you walk in. It's a little nerve wracking because I'm like, who do I look at? Because I've never had anybody just stare at me when I walk in like a place like that.
Well, maybe you shouldn't say gross shit though, like this, like what you've said. Like, oh god, that now that I've had that described to me, that's all she said. And then she gets famous overnight for it, and like, why? Just because it's gross and stupid? So what? It's gross and stupid. Ignore her.
Whitney Cummings' producer did a lot of editing for this episode, but from what I can gather from this particular shot, Whitney and Haley are constantly having a staring contest. Haley isn't familiar with Hollywood women types, but as you will shortly see, Whitney is putting pressure on Haley to be more like
So it's a
Whitney.
little strange, but.
What do you think this is? Like, on a bigger picture, were you just chosen by God to be a star?
Oh yeah, he picked me most definitely. 'Cause
Oh god. Oh, okay. All right. He picked me most
This just don't
definitely.
To be more like
so it's a
Whitney.
little strange, but.
What do you think this is? Like, on a bigger picture, were you just chosen by God to be a star?
Oh yeah, he picked me most definitely. Because
You-
this just don't happen to anybody.
No.
Oh, not gross and stupid. She's a hot southern blonde with the chipmunk front teeth.
Oh, she doesn't sound very hot.
Well, she's not. You want to talk mid, she's like a 4.
The voice. Oh, I was chosen by God, most definitely, because this doesn't happen to anybody. Oh, no, it does not.
Especially small town people like me. I mean, I was just an ordinary girl. I'm still an ordinary girl. You know that song by Hamilton?
I'm just a girl living in captivity.
Just an ordinary girl. Yeah, that's me.
This shot really
No!
tells 1,000 words. She damn near looks like Dracula. She is ready to jump across the table and take this young Tennessee woman's soul. Asking about God, Whitney's only God is the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah. Okay, let's clip that. We're making that a bop. That's gonna be a single. I mean, you're just like a machine or a star machine.
A star machine. She almost just said machine, and then she changed it. That's interesting. Why would you change that? Because she kind of sounds like a machine.
I can see that.
Different kind of
Right?
machine, but...
You're very funny, and I've decided that you're gonna do stand-up comedy.
You did?
I
I think we
deci-
should do it together. At least one show together.
Okay, like,
Oh. Okay, that is a little bit weird. I've decided we're going to do stand-up comedy, or you're going to do stand-up comedy. Oh, okay there, Whitney. That's a little bit abrupt, but okay.
what would you want to talk about on stage as a comic? Because everything you say is funny to me.
I'd let you pick a topic.
Every-
and I'll roll.
Everything you say is funny to me. And then she goes
I'm gonna
like,
do stand-up comedy.
You did? I
I've
think we
deci-
should do it together. At least one show together.
Okay, what would you want to talk about on stage as a comic? Because everything you say is funny to me.
I'd let you pick a topic and I'd roll with it.
I'd let you pick a topic and then I'd roll with it. This isn't improv. This is... I don't even know what I'm watching. This is some weird, like, manipulation via ass kissing. It's very strange. Like, Whitney is kissing this person's ass, but also she's...
But she's not a plant. But she's not a plant, though. She's not an industry plant. No.
She has to be, otherwise Whitney wouldn't be like, hey, you are amazing, and you've just shown up, and I wish I could be like you, and fuck the grind of going to clubs for 20 years and doing it that way. That's the worst way to get famous. Like, what?
Maybe you just go on stage and read your DMs. Saying that I incrementally became a public figure. Yours just, when people say, like, she got famous overnight, like, that was always an exaggeration until you. Any comedians you have crushes on, I can help you. I can help you.
Okay, this is really... She might actually be the Ghislaine Maxwell of comedy. Holy shit.
Matt Rife.
Let's see if we can get Matt Rife on the horn.
Oh!
It's possible.
Don't look at me like that.
Miss Haley Welch.
Yeah, Miss Haley Welch.
Oh my god, they actually called Matt Rife. Fuck, she is the Ghislaine Maxwell of comedy. I thought this was just like some edgy stand-up joke. No. Her. The Kardashians are famous because of murder and porn. Oh, you're not wrong, Duck Dog. You're not wrong.
I feel like Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm like,
Oh!
I feel like Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm like, oh.
She actually said it? Holy fuck, she actually said the... Okay. That's not something you want to frickin' say or feel there, Miss Cummings.
I trafficked a young blonde.
Anyone familiar with the Matt Rife situation would know the guy is notorious for telling famous women he wants to be with them, only to leave them abandoned soon after.
Oh, what a lovely gentleman. What a lovely man.
I found one, Jeffrey.
Wait, hold on. Hey, Haley, how old are you?
21.
Did he just hang up? You're like 20 years too young for him.
Hold on a second. While I have you on here, what's your actual Instagram? Let me follow you right now.
Hey_Welch.
In front of Whitney Cummings' entire audience, she is about to celebrate that Matt Rife gets to add another woman to his collection and leave it to Matt Rife, who, while on a live podcast, proceeds to set up a date with her. The goal that Whitney has to then say they might actually become a couple.
That's... So, and then he, like, hangs up on her and then ghosts her? What the fuck?
That's not what Matt Rife does.
What state are you? What state are you
Tennessee.
in? What part?
It's like an hour south from Nashville.
I'm in Nashville, August 24th, doing Bridgestone Arena. Do you want to come out?
Sorry, I didn't come. Yeah,
Do you want to come?
I personally think that if you are a cheater, a serial cheater, you should be able to go to jail for that.
Oh, okay. I mean, nobody likes a serial cheater, but, like, jail?
Oh, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This gets spicier as it... This is about to get a lot spicier. So, across the bottom of the screen,
Okay.
Matt Rife exposed as serial cheater.
Oh. Alright. Okay, so this is about Matt Rife. Okay, and apparently you should have to go to jail for it.
I really do. I'm not talking about like a first or a second offense. I'm talking like serial cheaters, like Austin McBroom level cheaters. There should be a real punishment for that. I really do think so, because if I'm on the opposite end of it, it's my significant other out, cheating on me every single day. I'm driven to do illegal things.
Well, or you could just break up with the person. I'm sorry. If the person's gonna cheat on you every single day and lie to you every single day about cheating on you and continue to risk, sexually transmitted diseases coming home to you, then just end it.
All right, and I can't control that. It's not my fault. That's your fault. You're telling me I'm like, I set the house on fire.
No, it's your fault.
I'm in trouble, but you're not in trouble for making me set the house on fire. That doesn't make any sense.
No. Sorry, you're still an adult. I understand infidelity is incredibly painful, but you're still a grown-up. You don't get to set the house on fire and get away with it because your ex or your partner cheats on you. You don't get to kill them because they cheat on you. It's called separation. It's called leaving.
Doesn't make any sense. And with that being said, I do think Austin McBroom should go to jail. Prison. For a long time. Everybody wins. Okay? He can get closer to God. He can work on his fitness. And we don't have to worry about like a little Austin McBroom running around.
Okay, well, again, infidelity is very painful, and it is definitely a shitty thing for people to do. But I do not believe that we should send cheaters to jail, because first of all, that's a drain on the resources of the prisons. Like, can you imagine? You put them in with the people that kill people and, like, rape people and steal from people. Oh, what are you in here for? Oh, I've committed, like, 8 armed robberies. Oh, what are you in here for? I'm a serial killer. What are you in here for? Oh, I can't stop cheating on my girlfriends. Could you imagine just the laughter that would, like, ugh. Oh my god. But how many people in jail end up cheating on their significant others anyways? Like, come on now.
See that at the grocery store? I don't want to see that anywhere.
I'm in Nashville August 24th doing Bridgestone Arena. Do you want to come out?
Sorry, I didn't come. Yeah.
Do you want to come?
So we're working on a stand-up for her to do to open for me when I perform in Nashville in October.
Please don't do that to her. Don't do that to her.
Nobody.
Because I thought was
After the Ghislaine Maxwell segment of the podcast, Whitney can't help but refer back to her original backhanded compliments, making fun of the fact that Haley's mom is a crackhead and that maybe Whitney should have smoked crack in order to have a famous baby.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my god, why? What kind of bullying backhanded bullshit is that?
you are like a genius marketer by accident.
Thank you.
Is this the key to making successful women?
What did YouTube do?
Okay, so just to add to the fun, I put a comment in that said me. I said a tweet that said that saying how King Charles's ears make him look like an elephant, and YouTube deleted it.
Infidelity is something that is actually, or that is also actually very hard to prove. At least in cases like this. Matt is a famous, attractive guy. Are we surprised that there are women that throw themselves at him? Exactly. And hello, Black Romeo. Welcome to the stream.
In business doing crack?
I guess so.
Maybe
Just have babies.
maybe this is your superpower.
Maybe.
Maybe we should prescribe crack to all
pregnant
pregnant women.
What the fuck, dude?
Because a lot of women overthink things, right?
Yeah.
They overthink it. You just say it, it just comes out, it's authentic. We need to kill some brain cells.
Oh my god, so she basically was just like, good for you for being a crack baby because you have no filter. And that's endearing and like really funny to me because that basically means you have no cause and effect skills, which means you're socially retarded.
Yeah, but when it comes to Matt Rife, bitches just be jealous. It's hilarious if you watch him. There's a whole slew of videos against Matt Rife and how he is with cougars. He's got a taste for his elder wine. He likes the aged wine.
You should have said satellite dish. Nobody knows what they're in anymore. Oh, duck dog.
This is the way to make women successful.
She's clearly being backhanded here. We need to smoke crack as women in order to be more accomplished versus what she had to do in order to become a famous comedian. She's pointing out not only the flaws with Haley herself, but also the flaws in how fame in general occurs in today's modern
Whitney
age.
is a comedian, so most of what she's saying is a joke. Yeah. She's obviously joking when she says it. I get it, but it's like, you know, like there's always the time when it's like too soon, right? And she's just, I've never found Whitney Cummings to be all that funny. I've heard some of her stand up. It's just not, it's not that good.
Some crack in utero, kill all those extra brain cells that just make you doubt yourself and be a perfectionist.
And then your baby's gonna come out of the womb like Devin or something.
Yeah, just a star.
Yeah.
Crack in utero makes stars.
I agree.
I did this all wrong. I didn't do drugs when I was pregnant. That was my mistake.
I think your baby's gonna be just fine.
I don't know.
Don't worry.
I don't
think
know.
he's gonna be just fine.
not
He's
that
got
funny.
you as a mama. Wait till
He's not that oh my god. See, none of that is funny. Like none of what she's saying to me is amusing.
he brings a girlfriend home or something.
It was once bespoken on Alec Baldwin's podcast by Ellen DeGeneres, who said it absolutely killed her how people were able to get famous today. Here's a wise tip for Cummings. Stick to comedy, and don't get caught up in where trends tend to head. It might just leave you crestfallen.
What do you think? Am I completely out of my mind, or is Whitney Cummings attempting to suck the life out of Haley's young and hapless soul? If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, and be sure and check out some of these other great comedy stories, news, and other comedy-related jargon.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's what Whitney Cummings is doing, but that was just weird. Hello, Spittle Buggies. Yeah, that was just a weird, like, yeah, Matt is very vocal about his love of older women. Yes, he is. Oh, no, I don't think she's being serious. I just don't think these jokes are good. I don't think these jokes are at all funny. I don't think they're well timed. My outrage is more like a criticism of the what's it called? It's more a criticism of the badness than the fact that I think it's serious. Because I don't think she's serious. Southern crack baby, that explains so much. Oh, Duck Dog, you're funny. You need to be over on YT apparently. I'm trying to get to Twitch. I'm trying. I'm trying, Duck Dog. So that's... Uh-oh. We seem to have lost our music. Oh, there it is. It's just really quiet. It's very, very quiet. It's booking for terrorists. Oh. It's a driving ape. Do 10 side raises? Well, alright then. I shall do do 10 side raises right now. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah. I see Black Romeo. Whew. Well, that was fun. Yeah, I try not to look at Twitch during the videos because when I use voiceover, it audio ducks the video, even when I have earbuds in, which is really weird. I don't understand why it does that. I would understand why it does it if I don't have earbuds in, but while I still have earbuds in, I don't get it. Okay, this is a 26-minute video, so I'm going to speed it up un tiny bit. So this is the Ballerina Farm Controversy, What Everyone's Getting Wrong, and it's by the Dadvocate. And I like the Dadvocate. The Dadvocate is, I like her. She's a pretty solidly centrist men's rights advocate. And she's got a TikTok as well as a YouTube channel. And they're both the Dadvocate. So let's go back to the screen, the live screen. And let's push play.
A few years ago, a woman named Hannah would make quite the name for herself on social media when she began uploading very adorable slice-of-life content from down on the farm, featuring herself, her husband, her multiple kids, 8 in total, her ducks and other farm animals, and this was all located on their ranch, Ballerina Farm.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen clips of these. There are some farm channels, like family farm channels that I've seen on TikTok, but I don't know if I've seen this
Named
one.
after Hannah's own love for ballet, which will come into play
Ball-
later. In these videos,
ballerina
Hannah is
farm.
often dressed
Okay.
like she came straight out of a time machine from the 18th century. There's a very rustic, old-school feeling to these videos, and as we watch her gently kneading dough or milking cows, even though the video is clearly filmed on an iPhone, it gives the viewer a momentary escape into simpler times.
Okay, so she's like, she does old-timey farm stuff, but she's, you know, filming it with modern technology. I get that. But she probably does do most of the farming stuff old school.
But not everybody was happy for Hannah's God-loving Little House on the Prairie homestead life. In fact, the potent hostility that currently surrounds the farm has been a viral sensation across the globe these past few weeks. It started with people just hating Hannah. A lot of women in particular criticized Hannah for setting an unrealistic expectation of what motherhood looks like. She faced particular backlash when she glamorized a skinny waist competing in the Miss American beauty pageant just 2 weeks after giving birth. You're
So...
not supposed to be hot after having a baby. That's illegal. But mostly, she's been criticized for glamorizing the trad wife lifestyle.
Oh no. Oh no, not glamorizing the trad wife lifestyle. God fucking dare you. How dare you do that? Right? How dare you, you know, be a traditional wife and make content about that and make money at it? How dare you lose... When I had the oldest, I was able to wear my non-maternity jeans out of the hospital. Okay? That is how much weight I lost in the 3 days that I gave after I gave birth to my oldest son. It is possible to go back to, like, it was only after the second baby and me not doing like any walking or anything like that really got me to gain up the weight. But like, it is possible to have a baby and then go back to your weight, like you're close to your pre-baby weight.
If you're unfamiliar with the term trad wife, I'm sure you can guess that it stands for traditional wife.
Traditional
In modern
wife,
adaptation, this is a woman who doesn't have a career or work outside of the home. A trad wife takes on the old school traditions of maintaining the home and doing the majority of child rearing while the husband provides financially. Now, they aren't always, but these families do tend to be pretty religious and dress conservatively, or at the very least, cottagecore meets Mennonite. Many women weren't against the trad wife life, citing the dangers of being too reliant on someone financially.
Then what the fuck am I? Am I like the weird anomaly of the one that stays home but doesn't dress like a freaking Mennonite and doesn't like fuck around on her husband and like, what the fuck?
The internet has no shortage of horror stories from women who gave up their entire careers to be a stay-at-home mother to a man who only ended up abandoning him for the younger model and leaving her with nothing. And while I do agree with the adage that a man is not a plan, that doesn't necessarily mean that every relationship where there's only one financial provider is toxic. And I have to say, in this case, Daniel, her husband, is not the only financial provider. They're co-CEOs of the ballerina farm business.
Well,
Hannah herself does not associate with the trad wife term, and I have to imagine that's a big reason why. But to be
yeah, if you're part CEO of a company, then you're not exactly a trad wife. You still have a job.
To be fair, most women who get lumped into the trad wife umbrella usually don't associate with the term. It's not very trad wife to call yourself a trad wife, you know what I mean? And honestly, anyone who actually does use the label is probably doing so for the express purpose of fetishizing the trope, but most women are not. Now, to people who share similar old-fashioned and religious ideals and goals, accounts like Hannah's feel warm, cozy, inspirational. But to many others, the Neelemans are just trust fund-enabled Nepo babies cosplaying as Salt of the Earth. Or Pioneer Burlesque. See,
Pioneer Burlesque? Oh my lord. I can't believe that's actually a thing. She was doing the trad wife life content before it went insane. Yeah. She's been doing it for what seems like quite a while. So that's... And people are angry with her for, quote, glamorizing it? No, she's just successful at it.
See, Ballerina Farm was not handed down from generations of agricultural laborers. It is, in fact, a 328-acre ranch that was purchased a few years ago for $2.75 million. So if you are watching your videos and you're thinking, wow, she's just like me, I can accomplish this lifestyle.
No, you cannot.
You should know that her stove alone cost $30,000.
Okay, that's insane. So she's rich. But, I mean, like, who cares, right? She's not, unless she's pretending to be poor.
And for this reason, a lot of people see these trad wife aesthetics as less of an appreciation for the domestic role and more of a flex from the leisure class. Basically, people are angry that she's spending all day making homemade breads and taking care of ducks, not because she has to, but because she can afford to. They see
Okay. I get it now. I feel like, okay, they're angry at her because she doesn't have to do this lifestyle. She's just able to because they have the money to do it. Okay.
Hannah is being paid to act out a fantasy, but is that inherently wrong?
No.
Is that not what a bunch of other people on social media are doing?
Yes.
I have to say I have some mixed opinions here. While I think a lot of these criticisms are fair, I also think that not enough billionaires are raising their kids on farms, and that raising a billionaire kid on a farm is probably the best chance of preserving their character and avoid them getting corrupted by their own financial situation. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna say that that's probably a very accurate assumption or assessment there. If that's probably the best way to raise a rich kid on a ranch doing chores and stuff, like, you know, like making sure that they are outdoors and playing and interacting with animals and taking care of the animals. That's a much better way than most billionaires raise their kids.
I mean, think about it. You check out the page, you see those kids putting work in at that farm. And I don't know about you, but everyone that I know who was raised on a farm has like 10 times the general life skills as the average person.
Yeah.
Born into money doesn't really bother me if you're at least using it in the right ways. And buying a farm and raising your kids
Ad
to be
break
self-sufficient
due at
is one of the righter
6:56.
ways. Either way, Hannah did a great job of not responding to the haters, letting it roll off her like water rolls off a duck, and eventually became predominantly well-loved and well-received,
Okay, 2
receiving
minutes.
almost 10 million followers on both TikTok and Instagram each. The hatred for Hannah seems to have died down, but then on July 20th, 2024, something would happen that would kick up that shitstorm of a hate tornado right back at Ballerina Farm. But this time, the target wasn't Hannah, it was her husband, Daniel.
Oh.
It started with a hit piece published to the Sunday Times by a Megan Agnew called Meet the Queen of the Tradwives and Her 8 Children. It begins. Hannah Nealon
Meet the what?
It was her husband, Daniel. It started with a hit piece published to the Sunday Times by a Megan Agnew called Meet the Queen of the Tradwives and Her 8 Children. It begins. Hannah Nealman, known to her 9 million followers as Ballerina Farm, milks cows, gives birth without pain relief, and breastfeeds at beauty pageants.
Yeah, there are a lot of women that give birth without pain relief and milk cows by hand. They're called Mennonites. I'm so like, what do you want? Nobody's writing like articles about them. Who cares? Who cares? We're almost at ad break time.
Is this an empowering new model of womanhood or a hammer blow to feminism? And this article went completely viral. I won't leave you in the dark about how this family is single-handedly destroying all of feminism. I'll give you a point-by-point breakdown of all the claims and accusations being made here that are making people freak out and call Daniel a controlling evil monster who stole Hannah away from her dream of being a ballerina and turned her into a baby-making factory.
Oh, okay. Well, let's wait for the ad break to finish before we start with that. Because that just sounds incredibly interesting and fascinating. I'm going to make sure that we're actually on the ad break here. Did it work? No, it is not here yet, I don't think. I don't see the thing that says ad break in progress, so we'll keep going for a minute.
Agnew brings up Hannah competing in the Miss American pageant as the first claim for how she has been oppressed. She writes, was this the ultimate act of empowerment, Nealman doing what she wanted, or the ultimate demonstration of oppression, her tender body encased in spiky sequins? Damn, so it's oppression now to do the things we want to do?
Yes.
What exactly is making Agnew
See,
think
this-
that Hannah had no autonomy in the decision-making of competing in this pageant? When
This
she has competed in
article-
pageants literally her entire life before Daniel was even a twinkle in her
This article is making me kind of triggered because my mother, when I first expressed my desire to marry Pink Hollow and take his name, she was like very upset about how I wanted to take his last name. She was like, you know, that means you think you're property, blah blah blah. And that's what this article feels like. Like shitting all over this woman because she wants to be a traditional wife that takes care of her kids and has lots of kids, and who cares? That's what she wants to do.
Do the things we want to do? What exactly is making Agnew think that Hannah had no autonomy in the decision-making of competing in this pageant when she has competed in pageants literally her entire life before Daniel was even a twinkle in her eye? No.
Well, isn't that what part of her ballet thing would have been, to do pageants? That makes sense. Like, that makes more sense to me. Yes, you are Black Romeo. Yes, it's a bad thing. Yes, Black Romeo, you have summarized exactly the problem that these women have with this lady.
Nope, it's just oppression. Damn, Simone Biles and Jordan Childs getting so oppressed this year at the Olympics. Now, before this journalist even steps foot in the home to start interviewing them, the shady undertones of this preconceived notion that Daniel is controlling have already begun. She writes, I have flown across the breadth of America and driven through the mountains of rural Utah to ask her, if, that is, I can get her alone.
Oh my god. So she's making it seem like this woman is so isolated that she had to drive and fly all this long way.
She has just entered the house. I do love the way Agnew is absolutely glazing her husband before she cooks him, though. Look at what she says. An all-American steak of a husband. A steak of a husband.
What the fuck? A steak of a husband. Wow. That's interesting. Feminism is about giving women choices. No, not that choice. Or that one. And she's not even traditional. Hannah is a work-at-home mom, technically. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My mom is...
Do we have to use the anti-horny spray, Megan? No, I'm stealing that one, though. The next big criticism brought up here is that the Neelemans, like other trad wives such as Nara Smith, are Mormon. The Mormon Church, also known as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or LDS, is a pretty controversial church, which I'm sure even the Mormons wouldn't disagree with. LDS communities are pretty well known for discouraging individuality and encouraging groupthink and conformity, and are also pretty well known for their excommunications and completely coldly cutting out disagreeable family members. In some communities, members have had issues being controlled by blackmail or being made too dependent on the church. This reputation, paired with the way Agnew phrases things like this, we passed the family's minibus, a 15-seater, is the aim to...
He's rough cut. Fatty and chewy. Oh yeah. Oh, she's probably the head of that household for sure, Duck Dog.
To fill it? Someday, yeah, Daniel says. We are getting old and worn out, Neeleman says, baby flourish strapped to her chest, sounding less sure. So we'll see. Led readers to view Daniel as having trapped her into this religion and forcing her to be constantly pregnant, something Agnew previously seems to use as kind of an insult. But what people need to consider is that they were both Mormon when they met, and they were both raised Mormon. Not only that, but both Hannah and Daniel each have 8 other siblings. Growing up Mormon and having a big family is all they know, so there's really no reason to think that Daniel is the one who pressured Hannah into it any more than there is to think Hannah pressured Daniel into it.
No, they're both, that's just what they're used to. And, I love how she's like, baby 4 strapped to her chest. Yeah, she's probably got baby 4 in a baby carrier. Who fucking cares? Baby carriers are amazing. I wish I wore my first kid. I only wore the second one. I wish to God I carried the first one.
But moving right along, the next thing, and possibly the biggest thing that riled people up, was the story about how Daniel and Hannah got together. In what would become easily the most scrutinized part of this essay, Agnew writes, he was 23 and she was nearly 2 years his junior when they were introduced by a mutual friend at a college basketball game. I saw her and I was ready to go, he says. Sign me up. I was thinking, let's get married. But she wouldn't go on a date with me for 6 months. One day she mentioned to Daniel that she was getting a 5-hour flight from Salt Lake City to New York, back to Juilliard. She didn't realize his dad owned the airline. So Daniel was like, I'm on that same flight, she says. I remember checking in and them saying, you're 5A and you're 5B. I just thought, no way, that's crazy. Daniel smiles. I made a call. He had...
That's kind of cool. That's cute. He wanted to sit next to her. That's cute. That's not stalky. That's they knew each other for 6 months. That's insane. I never found that one girl's magic underwear. But that's people are upset about that story. How stupid can they be? That's a cute story. I'm sorry. That is cute.
He had pulled strings at JetBlue. And so began their first date. People did not react to this well, with a lot of people being upset that it was even called a first date at all. They basically saw Daniel as creepy and desperate for not leaving her alone for half a year and then stalking her. And I think we can all agree that it's a bit unethical to use your father's airline connections to find your crush's exact location on a flight. In the HR world, I believe they call that a conflict of interests. And I really wanted to play devil's avocado here and say maybe she's just really good at dropping the handkerchiefs, and she did tell him what flight she's on, but she also said that she didn't know who he was or who his dad was, so there was no reason for her to think that he would show up. Agnew continues, back then I thought we should date for a year before marriage. She continues, so I could finish school and whatever. And Daniel was like, it's not going to work. We've got to get married now.
Okay, that's a little bit weird. I will say that that's less cute. That he didn't want her to finish Juilliard and, like, just get married to him right then. That is less cute. Imagine people complaining that a guy wants to be around a girl he's interested in. Yeah, I know, right? Right, Black Romeo? Isn't that insane? How dare they? How dare they want to be around someone they find attractive?
After a month, they were engaged. 2 months after that, they were married, moving into an apartment Daniel rented on the Upper West Side. And 3 months after that, she was pregnant. The first Juilliard undergraduate to be expecting in modern history. And this is definitely moving extremely fast in my opinion, but also right on brand for anybody who went to Bible school. I think they send the boys off to their freshman year of college with an engagement ring already. You know, just in case. No condoms, just the ring. Now, this next paragraph by Agnew really paints a clear picture of the bad taste that should all be leaving in your mouth. I look out into the vastness, and I don't totally agree. Daniel wanted to live in the great western wilds, so they did. He wanted to farm, so they do. He likes date nights once a week, so they go. They have a babysitter on those evenings. He didn't want nannies in the house, so there aren't any. The only space earmarked to be Neeleman's own, a small barn she wanted to convert into a ballet studio.
Okay. So she got a ballet studio. Who cares? Like, that's awesome. Like, that's like, oh no, I don't have any other place in this house to call my own except this office. Or, oh no, Driving Ape doesn't have anywhere in his house except his office and his workshop that aren't touched by the kids. Oh no, how horrible. We must isolate each other because we moved to this small town. Oh God, how terrible. Oh no, what a feminist bitch. To be fair, I have been seeing a lot of women saying they want to travel apart from their boyfriends and husbands. Even telling others to break up so they can travel alone. Jesus. That's kind of crazy. I've not known that. That is crazy. Okay, where are we here? Sorry, I was just checking Twitch chat.
Ended up becoming the kid's schoolroom. It's a grim narrative that paints Daniel as a selfish captor who's imprisoned Hannah and forced her to shrink herself so that he can live out his own fantasies. But I can't help but find signs that Agnew may just be manipulating absolutely everything she can to support a preconceived notion she already had about the family before even flying out to meet them. For example, why are date nights once a week being lumped in with all the other bad things, or even suggested as something Hannah wouldn't want?
Right! Like, who doesn't want a specific date night once a week? Like, that's, like, the fact that they're able to do that with however many kids that they have. That's awesome.
We always talk about the importance of continuing to prioritize dating your spouse, especially after marriage and kids. And here he is putting constant maintenance into that aspect of his marriage. How in the world is that now a bad thing? These were some other icky parts that people really clung on to. Daniel says Neeleman sometimes gets so ill from exhaustion that she can't get out of bed for a week. Objectively, that is horrible.
It's not lupus.
Now, in this next paragraph about Hannah's numerous home births, Agnew really tries to skew this as though Daniel is the only reason that Hannah only got an epidural once. The one time that he just so happened to not be there.
Okay, so just because he wasn't there and she got an epidural, that means that he never allowed her to have one?
something that a lot of people were pissed over. But in the same exact paragraph, Hannah says herself that she herself doesn't like taking the pain medication, and that the only reason she did was because this pregnancy was a lot more complicated than the other ones. And when Agnew writes that Hannah had to lower her voice, isn't it a bit of a stretch to suggest that Hannah was trying to make sure Daniel didn't find out about this epidural when she's talking to a journalist who's imaginably going to be publishing everything she says?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably that would make sense to think that would be the reason she lowered her voice, not because I don't want my abusive husband to find out I had an epidural.
I think Daniel knew and was okay with it.
Yeah.
Again, this might seem nitpicky, but as someone who's really sensitive when I feel like someone is trying to compel how I'm supposed to think about something, these things just really stand out to me. And once you realize that Agnew does have a pretty potent bias that she's ham-fisting in here, a lot of these arguments come across as just really reaching. Like here, for example, Agnew's talking about the sequin gowns from the pageants, and she writes, and the sequin gowns, well, they used to be in her bedroom cupboard, but with all the other stuff, the cupboard got so full that there wasn't any more room, so Daniel put them in the garage.
Yeah, because they're huge. They're sequin gowns. They're not fucking Lululemon yoga pants. Okay? Those pageant dresses are not tiny. Like, they're huge and heavy. What the fuck? Or maybe she got the epidural because her husband wasn't there to support her. That could be too, Black Romeo. That could very well be. Yeah, I was literally minutes away from being too late for an epidural. Yep, I was. They were trying to convince me not to get one because of how close I was. And I'm like, nope, you guys are going to hold me the fuck down and you're going to stick the needle in my spine, God damn it.
Here, Agnew seems to imply that this is just another method of Daniel's erasure of Hannah as a person, is shoving the pageant dresses away into the garage. And with the narrative that she's laid out so far, it may be easy for the viewer to see that as yet another red flag. But to me, a homeowner, it seems logistically reasonable. A bedroom closet is for things you wear regularly. Yeah. She is not wearing an oppressive, spiky sequined gown regularly. No. They'd be taking up so much space for no good reason, and storing them in the garage seems perfectly fair. And again,
it does. Like I said, those are big dresses. They're not small, manageable dresses.
Again, here, Agnew complains. I can't, it seems, get an answer out of Nealman without her being corrected, interrupted, or answered for by either her husband or a child. And this is just a childish empirical statement. In fact, she has gotten several answers out of Hannah without being interrupted or corrected, and got to sit down with her alone for a significant period of time. And I personally found no instances of Daniel correcting Hannah throughout that article, just excitedly adding on, which any husband and co-CEO of a business would do when their entire family is being represented.
Yeah. That's what happens. It goes back and forth between partners. Like, fuck. I can't imagine how people would view the way that Pink Hollow and I talk to each other.
I think one of the biggest takeaways that a lot of people really honed in on was the fact that Hannah was an amazing, accomplished ballerina and even got into Juilliard, one of the most prestigious artistic schools, only to drop out and become a homemaker. This was so unfathomable to most people that the only way they could really wrap their head around someone making such a decision would have to be out of duress or being forced to.
And this is what I go through all the time. I get told that, by my family that, oh, you need an escape plan and blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck off. No, I fucking don't. You guys, and it's so frustrating that I have, my family has this feminist view that I cannot think for myself because I'm, chosen to be the way, this housewife and whatever. And apparently women that choose that can't think properly for themselves. And it's like, what the fuck?
Now, the most popular thing being commented on Ballerina Farm videos is Hannah's own quote, "I was a good ballerina." People are furious that to this day, Hannah is not still living out her life as a trained professional ballerina. Then again, most people don't know shit about ballet. The truth is that most ballerinas retire in their early 20s, just like Hannah did. Being an actual ballerina, not just a hobbyist, a Juilliard-trained professional, is a military-level commitment. The hours are long and grueling and painful. You literally don't have time for relationships. And if you have a strong enough stomach, Google what ballerina's feet look like.
Oh, yeah. Seriously, the feet. The feet of a ballerina are as a former paramedic, I've been there for 2 no epidural births. The kid with a broken femur screamed less. Yeah. She even said she only needed it for the one because it was a complicated pregnancy. Yeah, exactly, honey. But yeah, Duck Dog, I was like, no, there's no way I can have a baby without an epidural. It's not happening. It's not fucking happening at all. I can't do it. It was too painful.
Being a ballerina is also not even a lucrative career. Most ballerinas will make about $30,000 a year. It's not impossible to imagine that a woman might rather just marry a billionaire's son so that she can practice ballet whenever she wants
You
to,
think?
instead of ruining her love for it by making it her job she relies on.
Exactly. Well, like, if you have the ability to become a farmer and a business person and no. Ballerina feet is horrifying. It's like pegs made of flesh. Oh God. No thank you.
Nonetheless, the article cemented a pretty clear narrative. Hannah Neeleman was a caged bird, robbed of her dream of getting to perform ballet at Juilliard, imprisoned by the face of patriarchy personified, Daniel Neeleman.
What a horrible man. What a horrible man, letting her, practice her art on their farm whenever she wants to. Yes.
She was a victim, and she needed to be saved. People began to heavily scrutinize Hannah's videos after this, looking for pretty much any further evidence they had of Daniel's crimes, and they would laser focus in on one video in particular, a video Hannah would later delete because of the backlash, a video now known simply as the Egg Apron video.
It was my birthday present from Daniel. Open their tickets to Greece.
Where's it from?
I know, the boys took it off.
I took it off.
It's from Ukraine.
So, plane tickets? Ooh, a hat I can wear in Greece.
What's that hat?
It's not.
Oh, my egg apron!
Eggs in it.
It's great. They didn't gather eggs.
It's really cute. It's a cute one.
That's the best. You're welcome.
Thanks, honey.
For a long time.
Oh no! Cause you don't think maybe later off camera she got the actual present that she really wanted? Those tickets to Greece? You don't think maybe like the witches with no toes. Yep. Some people like feet, and they say no, and even they say no bra on the ballerina feet. Yup. Find me a ballerina in her 30s that's not currently a stripper. That's another good point.
This was the final proof the world needed to determine once and for all that Daniel Neeleman was indeed a whole-ass Disney villain. Here we have this naturally and effortlessly gorgeous, hard-working, multifaceted supermom who just wants to go to Greece. Something maybe not every family can accomplish, but certainly the son of a billionaire owner of multiple airlines can certainly accomplish.
Yeah, you don't think maybe she didn't get, like I said, you don't think she didn't get those tickets to Greece after the video was over?
Only instead to receive an item designated for labor, one that many noted was not even gift wrapped. It really is up there with giving your wife a vacuum for Mother's Day, and his quick "you're welcome" before she even said thank you was not winning him any favors with the audience either. After this, you really couldn't go into either of their comment sections without dozens and dozens of people screaming at him to take her to Greece.
Wow. You don't think maybe, like I said, like, this is insane. They have no ability to think about what happens off camera.
Where women had previously chided, mocked, and ridiculed Hannah, they were now rising up as an army behind her to save her from her oppressor, or at the very least get her to Athens. Only problem is, Hannah doesn't want to be saved. After a couple of weeks of the entire world judging and hypothesizing about her life, Hannah broke her silence with this video.
She actually mentioned the egg apron first, though, didn't she? I think so. At least they weren't to buy.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a reporter come into our home to learn more about our family and business. We thought the interview went really well, very similar to the dozens of interviews we had done in recent memory. We were taken back, however, when we saw the printed article, which shocked us and shocked the world by being an attack on our family and my marriage, portraying me as oppressed, with my husband being the culprit.
Good for you. Good for you for speaking out. Because I really don't like when like, especially in my TikTok lives, people are like, you know, oh my god, he is so rude to her. He needs to just let her talk. And it's like, really? Just, this is how we talk. This is how we interact.
This couldn't be further from the truth. Nothing we said in the interview implied this conclusion, which leads me to believe the angle taken was predetermined. For Daniel and I, our priority in life is God and family. Everything else comes second. The greatest day of my life was when Daniel and I were married 13 years ago. Together we have built a business from scratch, we've brought 8 children into this world, and have prioritized our marriage all along the way. We are co-parents, co-CEOs, co-diaper changers, kitchen cleaners, and decision makers. We are one. And I love him more today than I did 13 years ago.
Good statement. Good, way to go. Good defense. The issue is that people are parasocial. They can't understand that things happen off camera. If it didn't happen on camera, it never happens. Yup. Very good point there, Black Romeo. Very good point.
We have many dreams still to accomplish. We aren't done having babies. We are excited for our new farm store to open, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for the rest of it. But for now, I'm doing what I love most: being a mother, wife, a businesswoman, a farmer, a lover of Jesus, and making meals from scratch.
So here's what we're left with. Do we believe Hannah or not? No, seriously, I think it's interesting that we respect women as independent, autonomous, worthy of being believed, until what they believe is different than what we believe.
Of course. Of course, that's exactly how it works. No woman could possibly want to be a traditional wife on a farm, making meals from scratch and being religious. No, that can't possibly be a thing that a woman would want. Like, but why? You know what I mean? Like...
It's certainly true that the way Hannah lives is not what most women want. That's why the average number of children is 2.5, not 5. But could it be remotely possible that she's happy? Is it so impossible that she is telling us that this is what she wants because it's actually what she wants? Is it possible even that Hannah is with Daniel because Hannah loves Daniel? Now, you don't have to like Hannah Neeleman.
There are so many weirdos on the internet. The DMs can get rather gross.
Or ballerina farm. To be completely honest with you, it is overpriced yuppie shit. $50 for a bag of flour? That is highway robbery of the highest order. Is it possible that there are no victims in this family? Let's take it one step further, if you'll be so charitable with me. Could it at all be possible that maybe, just maybe, Daniel is even a good dad? Look, Hannah says it herself, he is extremely hands-on with the kid.
No, you can't possibly have a man be a good husband and father and have a traditional wife in the picture. No, he's got to be abusive.
It seems like he's constantly holding a baby while guiding the boys through their chores, and you might not know this, but Daniel does the butchering at that farm, and butchering is very hard work. I certainly don't want to do it. He puts in the emotional maintenance with his weekly date nights. He does support his wife in her pageants, and he does keep her dancing. One common quote that keeps getting left on all of Hannah's videos is this one. Some boys take a beautiful girl and hide her away from the rest of the world. But with about 20 million collective followers across all platforms and recently winning the whole Miss American pageant, who exactly is he hiding her from?
Exactly. That's like the people that are like, that say that Pincalo's exploiting me, and like, it's like, what the fuck? They're like, no, this is not okay. Like, you can't just white knight for a woman if you don't know what's going on. No. Believe all women, and not that one though. She's clearly hysterical. Exactly. At least he's not a poly Lutheran. A good man in modern day? Is that even legal? Oh, probably not. Probably not.
If all natural home births, living on a farm, and raising a little leagues team worth of kids doesn't appeal to you, that's fine. That's actually the popular opinion. But there is no need to hyperbolically exaggerate details about someone else's life just to demonize their lifestyle. Hannah's life is not a slap in the face to feminism. It's something feminism allows her to do.
Yes! You should be allowed to choose this lifestyle, and feminists should be celebrating your choice. Just as though they should be celebrating the choice of a woman to be a careerist. Or you know what I mean? Like, each choice is a valid one.
You can't just strip Hannah of all of her autonomy and agency just because she's doing things differently than the way you would do them. She's a big girl. She can make her own choices. Hannah has now published her own version of her story the way she wanted it to be heard on her Ballerina Farms About Us page, where she once again describes the same thing she told Megan Agnew, that she adores her husband, cherishes motherhood, still makes time for dance, and that it was indeed also her dream to own the farm, but this time without biased, leading undertones to undermine everything she's saying. The irony here is that Agnew set out to write a hit piece on tradwife culture and its war on feminism, but what she ended up doing was attacking a businesswoman, stripping her of her agency, and leaving her to scramble to reclaim her own narrative.
Well done, Megan Agnew. Well, way to stand up for women and their autonomy by doing completely the opposite of standing up for women and their autonomy.
So who really victimized Hannah Neeleman here? Her husband, or a group of radical feminists who forgot that women are allowed to stay home and be wives if they want to?
Oh,
my final conclusion is that Hannah does not
feminists.
need saving. I personally am not going to be spending any of my time arguing in comment sections for some billionaire's daughter-in-law to go to Greece. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is secretly a low-key blink-twice situation, or just a regular marriage built off love, consent, and probably a handful of imperfections sprinkled in there? Do you even consider Hannah to be a trad wife, considering she is literally a co-CEO?
No, you can't have it both ways. She's not a trad wife and a CEO. You literally cannot have this in both directions. Either she's a trad wife whose only job is to be a stay-at-home wife and mom, or she's a stay-at-home wife and mom, but also a working mom who runs a business with her husband. You cannot have it both ways. That is literally impossible to have it both ways. Okay, I'm going to quickly do a be right back. We're going to do a bathroom break. If you guys need to refill your drinks, do so. Share the stream around while I'm gone. And I'll be back in a minute or so. All right. Here we go. Welcome back to our second hour. Well, second 90 minutes. Hey! It's a cannibalistic Snorlax. Snorlax. Hello. Welcome to the stream. We've gone through two of our videos now. Let's see about this next. Let's see. The Illuminati situation keeps getting worse. From 5 days ago. Wait, what? Oh. Should I cover it? No.
So Illuminati is stuck in a corner.
Oh, I forgot. Screen share. There we go.
So Illuminati is stuck in a corner and there is no way that she can get out. She's still embroiled in this very messy lawsuit that she genuinely believes that she can win. The Illuminati brand has been totally wiped off of the platform and now she's resorted to pettiness, embarrassment and potentially some behind the scenes movements. So let's break down what is going on with Illuminati. Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm Jake Baz and today we're going to be looking at Blair.
Pro-choice people literally have said that they were surprised that their friends actually had the kids. They expect them to abort. They had to be reminded that pro-choice means they can choose to keep it. Yup. That too.
Because she's got a little bit loopy. The past few months haven't treated her well in the slightest with everything that's been going on with her, which kind of do twist the narrative and show exactly how Illuminati is. Blair or Illuminati is a YouTuber who covered shady business practices as well as multi-level marketing schemes, which now, I guess, is ironic because of her shady character that she presents everywhere. I'm sure that you...
Very ironic. The fact that Blair is suing 3 people for basically talking about how they were treated by her is very much exactly the thing that she railed against in her video.
That you all remember how she got stuck in this mess, but just a quick reminder. She called out Legal Eagle for plagiarism with this tweet and by design embarrassed herself and created the worst YouTube situation for responses I've seen in history.
Yeah. The whole thing about you stole my editing animation, that was just pathetic.
It turned out all of her videos were Wikipedia copy and pastes, and this got very thoroughly exposed across the entire YouTube commentary scene. Her persona was fake and dull, and throughout all of these dramas and situations that went on, she came across as a liar, a grandstander, and despite how well she thinks she presents herself, a total content thief. There's been lawsuits, there's been lots of drama, there's been responses, and there's also been potentially new channels pop up which are related to Blair.
Oh, interesting. Because she's lost a lot of subscribers over this whole thing. Over the last, year and a half, she's lost a lot of subscribers.
So today I think we need to assess the true scale of the Illuminati disaster and also think about, well, where has she gone? Why has she disappeared? There's also been quite a lot of new information that's been brought to the fore around Oz Media and the entire lawsuit that's going on, as well as some of the stuff that's been missed over the previous weeks. So we got a lot to cover, so if you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like and sub. It would help me out a lot and I'd love to see you back. So firstly, I thought that we'd talk about the money troubles that Illuminati has been going through because there's been a lot of things peddled online that have been saying that she's been struggling, including myself. But after looking into it further, I really don't think that's the case for her. And I think truly she will go down with the ship.
Oh, for sure. She's... Good night, Duck Dog. Good night, Duck Dog.
Most of the things that I've seen that have come up around this situation is because of
She's
the current
definitely just
lawsuit
gonna
that
stick. She's gonna stick this out to the bitter end, no matter how wrong she is.
Illuminati. Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Jake Baz, and today we're going to be looking at Blair because she's got a little bit loopy. The past few months haven't treated her well in the slightest with everything that's been going on with her, which kind of do twist the narrative and show who, yes, is ironic because of her shady character.
Why did this go back
Her persona
so far?
was fake as a content. Think about, well, where has she gone? Why has she disappeared? There's
What?
also been quite a to cover, so if you enjoyed the video, please do like further. I really don't think that's the case for her, and I think truly she will go down with the ship. Most of the things that I've seen that have come.
Wait, what? Yeah. I wonder what's. Huh? Seriously? Oh my god.
Around this situation is because of the current lawsuit that she has had filed against her.
Okay.
By the actual state that she's living in. As this really does insinuate that she is struggling for funds and really don't know where to go with them. As you can see, this is by Marshall Recovery LLC to Blair, and this is essentially because Blair has not paid her taxes. So
Oh dear. So she's now in collections with the government, I'm guessing, with that company name, Marshall Recovery LLC.
what happened was Blair didn't pay her taxes, so then the government started getting a little bit angry and they ended up selling off the debt to this debt collector who is now going to sue Blair in court for this $3,000. And this is from 2022, so it has been going on for quite a while. This obviously leads a lot of people to believe that, well, if she can't pay $3,000 worth of taxes, she must be so broke, especially with everything that's gone on around the lawsuit, this, that, the other. This is
Yeah, if she is unable to pay her taxes, then she's got to be having some issues financially. And this is like, it's very obvious now she's
This
in
has
collections.
also been popping up in her lawsuit situation with Oz Media, Wonderstruck, and Felix the Kit Kat, where
Okay.
she has been essentially saying that they are the sole reason why she has lost all this revenue.
Yeah,
it's nothing to
that's
do
not
with
true.
anything else going on contextually. No other YouTubers, just them three. And one of them isn't even a YouTuber, so, I mean, she's trying. Bless her. This is...
So, according to her, 3 people are responsible for her loss of revenue and inability to pay her taxes. How does that work? I don't understand how all these people act like all these people are responsible for their ability, unable or unwilling. That's a very good question. Cannibalistic. But I don't even understand, like, how she's able to say this with a straight face, that these 3 people single-handedly caused her to lose her revenue stream.
This has led to multiple statements within her actual lawsuit, which is around the amount of money that she's lost, saying, for example here, defendant's statement caused special damages as evidenced by the fact that the plaintiff's revenue dropped more than 60% after the My Response video was published from 27,000 to 10,000. And the funniest thing around this thing is that she really doesn't think that. Like, there is no way in hell that she actually thinks that that is the sole reason why, but she's just trying to whataboutery it so that she can get it pushed through court. Look.
Oh, for sure. There's no way she believes for a fact that Wonderstruck, Oz, and Felix are responsible for her loss of revenue and subscribers. If she actually does believe that, then she is extremely delusional.
look at me, I've lost so much money. Don't mention anything else about anyone else who has potentially caused this. Not anyone else has done that. It's petty and it's intentional. But after looking into this and thinking about it quite a while, I don't think this is the case at all. And she does not have money troubles in any way, shape or form. And the reason, and the main reason around it is, well, look at what she's doing to Oz right now. Currently, Oz in the lawsuit is spending a lot of money, going up as far as $10,000 a month. And if you think that Blair, considering that she's attacking not just one person but 3 people, is not going to have some lawyers which are able to actually do a pretty good job considering how leaky this entire thing is, she's going to be paying a lot more. Yeah.
Considering that Oz is paying that much money and Blair is the plaintiff in this, she's definitely going to have to be paying a lot more money than he is.
Can promise you that. This also leaks into what Oz Media is thinking about it, as we will get onto, because he really thinks that, well, this is actually just a personal vendetta. And if you go back through all the lawsuits, it makes a lot of sense.
Hey,
this is also
what's up? What's up, Ghost family?
Failing to mention the $300,000, as you can see, crypto farm that Blair is currently using. It's clear that she has quite a lot of disposable funds in potential avenues, so I can imagine that even though she's had a dead channel, she's not getting the views that she used to get. She's not getting anything, really, if I'm honest. But she will not really be in a terrible financial position, and it only further bolsters the idea that this is really a personal vendetta. For Oz Media, this situation has become very pivotal in his life. It has totally destroyed his life, totally destroyed everything around it. It really has become a very self-consuming thing for him. When
I remember watching a video that he put out saying that his actual documentary on this is going to be postponed a bit just because of his mental health state and the fact that he just needs some time to process what's going on. And I totally understand that.
When his part 1 of the response video dropped, he put a comment that was pinned that said, "Update for now, all I can really state is that Blair has shown interest in talking, but that's really where it starts and ends. More information will be available at the end of the week." Which then clearly turned to the title says it all, because he changed it from the response to part 1. All Oz wants is a resolution for this, and he can't find it because he's fighting someone who genuinely, really, I believe, just wants to destroy him. And it's very obvious that he wasn't not trying. I mean, there's tweets here, there's a full response video. He tried his best, but Blair seems to want other things. The latest update that we did have around the situation up until this week was this one, saying that part 2 is still happening because of the legal system, and he's an unruly beast. It's causing a lot more issues of him getting it out, because you need to remember everything needs to be legally vetted, so he can't get in more trouble than what he already is.
He's got to make sure that everything he puts in his videos about this is above board, and that it makes sense, and that it has receipts, and that he's not going to get in more shit.
Even though he shouldn't be in any trouble, full stop. The American court system is just brilliant. But then very fortunately for us, one of my friends, Einabber, he posted a video around Illuminati where he actually interviewed Oz Media around the current status of what's going on, and there are some very interesting bits in this, which not only highlight the problems and situation that is currently going on, but also it paints Illuminati once again in a terrible light. When asked around how everything is going on with Oz currently, he responded with this, saying that a lot has changed with a lot more stress, because there was hope at one point of it being dismissed early so he could have his life back, but unfortunately is in it for the long haul. And there was a lot of hope at first for this to finally be fixed and be on with, but obviously that's not how it's turned out, because the courts will favour in the plaintiff. Blair has brought forward...
That is true, unfortunately. And this really does feel like Blair just wants to make Oz suffer for speaking out.
The courts will favour in the plaintiff. Blair has brought forward this, so she clearly thinks that she's got a claim, and the judge is going to give her that, which is unfortunate, but it's how it works. It's a bit of an agonising stress because there's nothing I can do to get over with. I'm forced to wait and play on the legal system that could very well take years. Instead of spending time with my friends, family, and my partner, I'm forced to watch an email inbox with the dread of the next legal update. It's consumed his life, his soul, his entire body. Everything is around this situation, because that's exactly what Blair wanted.
Yeah. He broke up with her, so she is now making his life a living hell. She is making his life just utter chaos through the legal system because he broke up with her and then he spoke up about what happened.
Blair wants this long drawn out process where Oz Media's life can be essentially destroyed. We definitely know that Blair has some petty in her. That is definitely the case. She's got quite a bit of that in the locker, and she's going to go full force with this one because essentially she probably sees Oz as destroying everything around her and then making her channel totally incompatible with anything going on. It's not the fact that she plagiarized, it's not the fact that she was very low effort with her slop that she was putting on there. It was because of Oz Media. This is everything. I really think that quite a lot of YouTubers, what they could do to help themselves is look in a mirror.
That is true. That's a very good piece of advice, to look in a mirror as a YouTuber, even and just as a person, before you start criticizing people around you.
Fraser then asks around the backlash of the situation because there has been quite a bit of backlash on Oz Media's part because obviously he's bringing everyone together to try and fight against someone who has very morally been inept. And even in like totally good situations, there is always this sort of bad thing that can come to the fore. Oz responded by saying the harassment, I know Blair had her fair share, but truth being, because of her actions, everyone involved with this has. The moment she swung at Legal Eagle, every creator who had prior relation got thrown into the spotlight as well. She acts as though we're dogpiling her, but she created a mess that everyone needed to deal with. This is unfortunate.
That's true. She basically spilled the chessboard, and now everybody has to work at cleaning up the pieces.
Unfortunately, what happens on YouTube, because, well, you're complicit in a sense. If you look at it from the outside, you are a friend of Blair, and if you do not respond to it, if you don't acknowledge it, it's only going to go bad on you. Oz obviously had very close previous relations, being her ex-boyfriend, so it really does make sense that, well, I've got to come out and respond. She has caused this palaver when she decided to go and attack.
Didn't really have much of a choice. Being her ex, like, not saying anything would have been a bigger problem than him doing what he's doing.
At someone for plagiarism when it was totally ironic for one, but also not true in the slightest.
Right.
And it's very true that she does have this victim complex and she can't get out of that herself, and it's embarrassing. Next up, Oz goes on to mention about the loyal supporter of Blair that has been following him around everywhere, having nearly 30 plus YouTube alt accounts and 10 plus Reddit accounts. What?
Wow.
I mean, you always see this in situations like this where you've got
crazy.
One adamant lover of the channel who will, despite everything going around them, just try and trash anyone that got in the way. And
yeah, I've had a few TikTok accounts that do that are like, you know, oh, you're like, they've got nothing but negative comments to say, stuff like that, and it's just like, thank you for coming and interacting with my shit.
You gotta kind of commend it a little bit. It's quite interesting. I mean, it's a bit sad in it, but that's something else. I will genuinely never understand why people do this. It's a waste of their time. It's a waste of everyone else's.
Yeah.
Right, there's one person attacking him. Going on then to talk about the 3,000 chargeback that happened on his donation link, which is very unfortunate. As well as saying that the harassment is something that I've grown accustomed to, and certainly it takes a toll. The frustrating part about...
He got a $3,000 chargeback on his link, his dono link? That is awful.
I just can't come out swinging with everything because of how litigious Blair is. He kind of is stuck in a box a little bit because he's unable to get out and express himself how he wants to express himself because he is at the eyes of the law. And I don't mean that in any like illegal way. I just mean in the sense of he cannot actually come out and just be like, oh, this fucker, because it will come back to bite him in court, unfortunately. Oz then goes on to talk about the...
He's got to stay calm in this situation. He can't just lose his shit. He has to basically stay as calm and zen as he can and just fight this in court.
Where the Illuminati has literally drained every single amount of money that she can off of him. As for finances, it's been hell. While a lot of legal is covered thanks to the help of the audience, because I'm unable to upload on my main channel because of the pressures of producing parts 1 and 2, it's been putting a noticeable strain on my monthly income. If it wasn't for other projects and the generosity of my audience during streams, it would have been a lot harder. It's really...
That's rough for Oz. Because I can tell Oz is probably not the type of guy that wants to e-beg like this.
Really good that Oz is managing to get at least the help that he can in this situation. And obviously the donation link, which I'll leave a link in the description, will help out a lot. But something like this is just going to absolutely drain everything around you. And it's a horrible thing. It really is. Like I said, I think Blair is trying to rinse him for everything that she can, including money, but also pride and the ability to actually become the YouTuber that he wants to be.
Absolutely. She does not just want to own him financially. She wants to own this man emotionally, mentally, psychologically, in every single way possible. She wants to be like, you can't break up with me. I break up with you.
It's so hard. She's had her career destroyed and now she's turning around and she's like, well, I'm going to destroy yours too. And that's obviously not what's going to happen. It's not what has been happening. But I think that she's unable to get her channel back, so she's just shooting where she can. Also mentioning that the lawsuit is costing $10,000 a month, and that he has been as upfront as he can with his legal invoices, which I have seen that has happened. You can see it on his Twitter if you ever feel like that you don't know where the money's going.
He's very transparent about that, and it's awesome that he is. Oz is very good about showing the invoices for the legal fees and everything like that, and showing you where your money goes.
Obviously, 10 grand is so much every single month, $120,000 a year, which you might think because he's a YouTuber, he'll be earning bank, but that is not the case at all, especially when you got something like this eating at your pocket. Without the donation link and everything that has gone into that, there would be no chance for him. Honestly, there wouldn't. And then Oz goes on to echo something that I have said across the entirety of this situation, and also a lot of other commentators, in that I'm personally in the opinion that it's not about getting her channel back. If she wanted that, she could have done that a year ago. Instead, to me, this is about causing as much damage as she possibly can in a form of twisted retribution. And in my honest opinion, I believe
this is vengeance. This is vengeance on Blair's part. Clear and certain. This is nothing short of, you screwed with me, I'm gonna screw with you.
That's the exact same thing. I do think that she is just trying to get what she can, because she's lost so much money. Everything's leaked out. She's lost her channel. And now she's like, well, where do I go from here? We've seen in some of these situations that Illuminati can be the type of person to be very vindictive and try and get back at people. Like, for example, getting Felix the Kit Kat to go and attack another YouTuber for the sake of $200, just so that she could get back at her own ego that has been tarnished by someone. She really doesn't care, even if she appears that she does. Fraser then goes on to ask Oz Media around the dismissal of the case, because that's what the entire point of the original video was. And to that he's responded saying, I can't say much in terms of how disappointing the settlement talks went, but they proved to me that it's apparent that Blair, in my opinion, was unreasonable with her demands. She seems to be in the mindset that if she wins the lawsuit, the internet will come back to her with open arms. Either this or she wants to cause damage, as stated earlier. And I mean, he knows Blair a lot more than me, but I genuinely wouldn't believe that she is that psychotic in nature to believe that she can get back to normal. Like, nothing happened. I've been vindicated after exposing her content for exactly what it is. She's definitely watched a lot of the content that has been spewed out across your screens over the past year that have been slandering her in a sense, but in an experiential way. It's very evident to me that she is that person. So
I don't think that's slander, though. I think that that's just people telling their experiences with somebody.
I think she knows that she's not getting her channel back, and I really think that does fester on her mind a little bit. And then as final closing thoughts, Oz states this: all I can say is that part 2 will release soon. There are several legal hoops I need to jump through first, and additionally I've been selfish and taken a few weeks away from everything to give my partner time and care. Wow, that is, considering everything going on, the most selfish thing that you could ever do. It's not the wisest thing to do in this situation. I know everybody is on a waiting list. It's still coming out. I've just been selfish. And first off, it's definitely not a selfish thing at all, considering it. It's not at all. You should really have holidays where you can, when you can.
Yeah, like Oz, if anybody needs a holiday, it's freaking Oz. Right? Like Oz and Wonder and Felix, like all of them just deserve a like some time away
any
from
scenario,
all this.
or you will go loopy. But on top of
Yeah.
this, with everything going on and the fact that there is a little bit of a block period where you're not being attacked on this legal front every single day, it's very fine to go and do that. Also stating that they
Absolutely.
want to thank everyone for support, and when this is over, I'm looking forward to giving back to the world in every way that I can. I think I'd say for a lot of people that are watching this video, as well as people who are around the Oz Media circle, that you're very welcome. It's not really a justifiable thing of what you're being attacked for. It does seem like a very veiled threat that has ended up becoming actuality.
I wouldn't say it's a veiled threat. I would say it's a full, fully, a full-on threat that Oz is facing. And, you know, he deserves all the help he can get, honestly. He deserves everything all the help that comes his way, all the donations that come his way, everything that happens, you know, all the good that is happening to him, for as horrible as Blair's actions are, every balancing act that is good that happens to him is well deserved. So I would very much hope that he's gonna be okay. Alright, let's get into our stop, sit, and police time videos.
You're gonna have an issue with me. You're gonna...
Let me pull up our live screen here. Sorry about chat. My phone died and it's not turning back on quite yet. Okay, let's do it.
You're gonna have an issue with me.
I didn't resist. I just looked at my child.
Nah.
I didn't do enough.
Oh, the violins are perfect for this.
In
Oh
today's
my
video, I'm
god.
going to be reacting to a video titled Walmart Shoplifting Couple Goes Nuts When Caught by Police. Insider, as always, I'm going to be doing my criminal procedure analysis, and you can learn about your rights. Let's jump right into it.
Okay,
On April 14th, 2023, an officer responded to a retail theft. Dispatch advised that store employees had caught a male and a female shoplifting multiple cosmetics items and keeping them in one of their personal bags, as seen on their CCTV cameras. Upon arriving at the scene, the officer located the suspects and prevented them from leaving the area.
Both of them are stealing makeup? Okay, why is the dude stealing makeup? Why, okay, sure. Go ahead. Steal the makeup, my dude.
Here's how the events unfolded.
Stop. In the shade, both you stop. I'm recording. Sit down right there. You're not free to go. Take off running. We're gonna have an issue. Sit down. Stop. Sit down. Sit down, or I'm gonna put you down.
Can I get my dog? This is a truck.
Can I get my dog?
You're not free to go. Take off running. We're gonna have an issue. Sit down. Stop. Sit down. Sit down, or I'm gonna put you down.
Can I get my dog? This is a truck.
Can I get my dog? He's in the truck. Okay, why is your dog in the truck?
What's gonna happen?
I didn't do nothing.
Sit down.
Look, there's my purse.
Sit down, sir, or we're gonna have an issue.
Okay, I just...
On your...
My
ma'am.
dog is gonna jump out the truck. Please,
Where's your
let me
truck?
get my dog. It's right
Please let me get my doggy. Please, please, my dog. I need my dog. He's my therapy dog all of a sudden.
Is it the red truck in front?
Yes, he's gonna run away.
Sit down and we'll handle the dog.
Here's my purse.
Do you understand you're being detained right now?
Yes, I understand.
You know why? They think you stole stuff from Walmart.
Huh? Is that Bobby? That's my purse.
Here's my
That's
purse.
fine. Sit down, honey.
Please get my dog, please.
Oh, we'll take care of the dog.
Oh, please let me get my dog, please. You don't understand.
Sit down.
Dog doesn't seem too
Sit down.
perturbed.
Don't resist, dude, because I will.
I'm not resisting, man.
Well, you guys aren't getting with me.
I got a broken collarbone, bud.
I've got a broken collarbone. Where's the sling? Where's the sling for your arm? What, like, why are you shoplifting if you have a broken collarbone?
Please don't twist my arm. Please don't twist my arm. I just have it in the front. I got a broken collarbone. I got a broken collarbone. Ah!
You've got a broken collarbone, so therefore you're going to resist arrest. Because that's perfectly, you know, sensible. Yeah. Yes.
You're back now!
Please don't let my dog get me having my dog, please!
Sir,
Please, hon, please don't let nothing have my dog!
you're gonna have an issue with me.
Huh? Yep. It's always something. It's always something that makes it so that they shouldn't be handcuffed.
I didn't resist! I just want to get my dog!
I gotta get my dog out of
I
my
didn't resist! I just want to get my dog! I didn't do enough!
Sit down now.
Nobody do
Ha. Tased. Taser, right, you've been tasered.
That was a lot. There's a lot that just happened, okay? I'm just trying to conceptualize what just happened. The gentleman is put in handcuffs, right? The gentleman's put in handcuffs.
I'm resisting, man.
You guys aren't getting with me.
I got a broken collarbone, bud. Please don't twist my arm. Please don't twist my arm. I just have it in the front. I got a broken collarbone. I got a broken collarbone.
She's running away, okay?
Okay, so if she's running away, then and it's just one officer, then he's gonna have to do something about the dude.
Okay, she is detained. She is not allowed to do that, right?
Put your hand behind your back now! Please don't let my dog get me having my dog, please!
Sir. And then the other guy, the first suspect, gets up, he yells, he's angry, he's handcuffed, but now he's walking.
Yeah. This is bad. Like, this is the officer does not have control of both suspects, and that it's hard to do that when it's just one of you.
Please, hon, please don't let nothing have my dog!
You're gonna have an issue with me.
I didn't resist! I just want to get my dog! I didn't do enough!
Sit down now.
Nobody do enough! I just want to get my dog!
How much force can the police use? They can use a reasonable amount of force. Reasonable. How do you define reasonable? This is a taser. This is not life-threatening.
Yeah,
but
he he didn't like tackle the dude, like, because he said the dude said he had a collarbone injury. So if the guy tackled him and he re-broke his collarbone, that would be a problem, right? So I mean, like, technically the taser is probably the best option.
But just because it's not life-threatening doesn't mean that you can just use it for any reason. So let's look at the totality of the circumstance. He's dealing with two people. One seems angry, the other one seems resisting, but at the same time, you know.
Sir,
Please, hon, please don't let nothing have my dog!
you're gonna have an issue with me.
I didn't resist! I just want to get my dog! I didn't do enough!
He obviously approaches pretty menacingly, right?
Yeah.
Like right here, he's charging to the police. He's yelling at him. Police draws the taser, okay?
That is true. He just came and he's like growling at the guy.
I get that right here. I get that. But watch what happens next.
Down now.
Nobody do enough!
He's stepping back while communicating, and then he gets tased. Look, I'm not trying to say that this cop's job is easy, because it's not. But I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Was using the taser appropriate? I think it's questionable.
I don't know if it's appropriate because I'm not well versed in law enforcement. But if this guy needs to be decentralized and he needs to be like taken down for a bit while the officer deals with the woman, then he's gonna have to get tased because there's only one officer right now.
To be quite honest.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm sorry, I should have called my son to come get my dog.
We will take care of your dog.
Nobody was doing anything, man. Nobody was trying to resist. Nobody was
Dude, you wouldn't listen.
Nobody was running from you. Nobody was resisting.
My dog.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
I was nothing but nice to you people. Stand up.
I don't know if you were nothing but nice. I don't know about that. I feel like he was a little bit abrupt, but he doesn't have to be nice. It's not his job to be nice. That's just an extra thing that some officers do.
Stand up. Dude, my legs are up. Sorry, my legs are numb from you shocking. Sit right here.
I love the violin for this.
The couple continued to behave erratically even after being cuffed.
Can you watch him? I gotta go check on this.
I'm busting my head. I'm bleeding like.
We got rescue coming.
What's up, pup?
Oh, puppy dog.
Nick, I'm assuming they haven't been searched yet. Hey, don't pull those, cause all right, Ken, stand up. You got any needles on you?
Oh, I love how he's just like a fucking soccer player.
Nick, I'm assuming they haven't been searched yet. Hey, don't pull those, cause all right, Ken, stand up. You got any needles on you?
No, man.
No,
he just shocked the out of me. I'm laying on the ground and he's still just shocking the
It
out
goes
of me.
5
Like,
seconds. He can't stop it.
I love how he's trying to be like, he was shocking me the whole time. Yeah, he can't stop it once it starts. It doesn't have a switch to be on, off.
Everything, go ahead. You got any needles or anything on you?
No, man. I have no needles. Nothing around. Dizzy as okay? He just shocked the out of me.
So what the police officer is doing here is called a sit-lay, search incident to a lawful arrest. This person's being arrested. They can go and check what's inside. It's more than just a pat-down, okay,
Yeah.
people? It's more than just a pat-down. The police can go inside and search the pockets and all that kind of stuff.
No, man. I'm not using like what the. What does using have anything to do with this? Like,
well, you're.
What does using have anything to do with this? Well, you're shoplifting cosmetics, which can be expensive and can be sold for money, which can be exchanged for goods and services.
Starting to act all naughty.
I'm busting my head open, man. My head is killing me. Like, what does drugs have anything to do with me busting my head open and I'm dizzy and my legs are
Has
shaking from
something to
getting
do with
shot.
why we got called to a retail theft, right?
Yeah.
It usually all ties in together. That's why I'm asking the questions I'm asking. You got anything in your socks or shoes?
No, man. I had nothing on me.
Stop pulling those out because you're just making.
They're poking me.
I understand that, but there's a way they have to be removed.
Shortly after, one of the officers found a gun in the couple's truck.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
well, let's discuss how we got here.
A gun in the truck. And their retail theft going on. Oh, this is just lovely.
How can the police search a truck after an arrest is already made and the arrest occurred far enough away and might not have been relevant to the underlying crime? Well, let me tell you about the plain view doctrine. So long as the police have a lawful vantage point, which they do because they are allowed to walk around a car, anything they see is lawful. So if they see a weapon in a car from a lawful vantage point, well then they can develop probable cause to then go and actually search the car and then uncover the weapon.
So like if they're walking by the truck and they see the gun sitting in the on the center console or something through the window, then they can search the car and retrieve the weapon.
Look what the officer's doing here. You can't really tell, but the officer's like perching up. He's looking over into the truck bed. He's allowed to do that because he has a lawful vantage point. Plain view doctrine.
You got anything on you shouldn't have?
I don't have nothing
Do you have any pockets?
my pants.
Okay.
Man, look at the back of my head. I'm just on her look at the back of my head.
It's.
Babe, can you see the back of my head is, babe? Hi. What? Can you look at the back of my head?
Oh,
yeah, it's bleeding. It's bleeding.
So he really cracked his head on the ground there when he got tased.
How many times? You know what would have solved all that, gentlemen? Sir, ma'am?
Yeah.
What? What would have solved all that?
I just wanted to check my
If
phone.
you sat down when I told you to sit down, correct?
I was just worried about him.
What'd I tell you? Didn't
Why?
I tell you we'd have somebody check on your dog?
Was the
I'm
dog
sorry.
gonna
We
like
cannot
jump
follow
out of the
instructions,
truck
can we
right
not?
away?
I'm sorry.
I told
I
you, did
never
I not tell you you guys were being detained? Did I not? What'd I say you were being detained for?
Amy, is this black bag yours?
Yeah.
That's what she was carrying. Did I tell you you were not free to go? I told you you were being detained and not free to go. I was even polite enough to put those handcuffs in front of you, was I not, sir? Because of your shoulder injury.
That's so he's the cop is going over what he did, which well, let's keep going.
Sir, you started walking away, then you came up on me hot because I tried to put her in handcuffs because she started walking away.
All I was doing was talking to you. I wasn't hot.
No, you were hot, dude.
All I said is,
I mean, look, at the beginning,
were hot.
right, he was hot when he came in, okay? I acknowledge that. But then he was stepping away. And look, it's a hard situation. I'm not, a lot of these cases are judgment calls, right? And the law does allow the police officers to have a little bit of deference,
had to do what
right?
he had to do to
dogs.
decentralize the situation.
But you guys wouldn't get with the program. If you guys would have got with the program, we'd have been sitting there. Somebody was coming to check on your dog.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've
So
never done that.
can we go back to zero? Can we start over where we were here? Please and thank you. Holy guacamole.
Yeah.
You probably have a headache, don't you? Let me see where these probes are.
The guy sounds very what's it called? Very, very stern. He's just, you probably got a headache, don't you? You dumbass. That's what it sounds like.
Okay. They were poking me. I got you. Watch out. We don't want to get poked again.
Soon, one of the officers took away the female and Mirandized her.
All right, we got somebody at Walmart.
Okay, why did he Mirandize her? He Mirandized her because she is clearly under arrest and he wants to further interrogate. A lot of people get this mixed up. You don't actually need to be Mirandized right away. Like when the police instigate an interaction, if they have reasonable suspicion, they're not going to Mirandize you.
No,
they Mirandize
not right
you
away.
after you are under arrest and they want to further interrogate. Now, you should listen to the Miranda warnings and use them. The right to remain silent.
Yeah, don't fucking talk. Don't say shit. Just remain silent.
Zip it.
When we get you up, we're gonna straighten up your
Oh,
handcuffs and
gosh,
stuff. and
okay. Solo cam. I wonder why my phone is not. Turning back on so I can look at chat. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh. All right. And back to this.
Are you working anywhere? No, not right now. My partner's gonna search you. You're in custody now for resisting. I'm not saying you're necessarily going to jail, so they didn't have to spray you or tase you or anything like that. I might be able to, because of the dog thing, I might be able to release you because I don't really want to call animal control for your dog. Right?
To me, that's probably not happening, right?
No.
If you get Mirandized, you're probably going to be arrested.
Yeah, if you're not, you're not gonna get Mirandized and then, like, let go so you can go take care of your doggy. That's not how that works. That is not at all how that works. So that cop was probably just trying to keep her calm.
But the police can tell you that to try to make you talk and
Yeah.
cooperate.
You were pulling away and fighting with me a little bit.
I don't care if you take the truck and pound the truck. We got this piece of my dog.
When Mirandize you, though, I'm gonna ask you some questions. Honestly, goes a long way with me, okay?
Okay.
When you copy that, you don't necessarily have to take you to jail, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying I'm not going to. But
please, I've got kids. Right. You know what I mean?
Please, I've got kids. Well, then why are you shoplifting?
In school.
Who's got keys in the vehicle?
They're right there. Yeah.
all right. So you saw me pull up. I told you guys to stop and sit down, right?
Yeah.
Then I told you you're not free to go.
Right.
I told you you were being detained, right?
Right.
I told you you were being detained, right?
So now she's admitting that she's heard everything and she willfully didn't comply. So
That's why you stay silent. That's why you don't say anything, my friend.
She just admitted to failing to obey lawful order, resisting arrest, all that fun stuff. Just admitted to it.
What I say? That don't move, don't run.
Yeah, I told you specifically, don't take off running, right? You're being detained because of a retail theft over at Walmart. You said I didn't steal anything, right? I told you to sit down. How many times did it take?
Huh? No, it does not.
I told you to sit down. Okay. And you didn't, right? You told me there's a dog
I
in
knew
the
I
car.
wasn't getting far. I mean, look at me. I just wanted to see.
Right, but I told you, didn't I tell you somebody was coming to check on the dog?
Someone.
Huh? Fixed what? Okay. So she's obsessed with the dog. She's I told you about my dog, blah blah blah.
Okay, you're right. So much was going on. So much was going on, right? I had to deal with two of you guys. Right. He's a fit young man. Right. You started walking away. He never sat down all the way. You started walking away. I went after you. I had to grab you. Then you wouldn't cuff up, right? You didn't want to cuff up for me.
Well, you didn't want to. And then of course she's gonna go, well, of course I didn't want to cuff up for you. Well,
So I had to
no.
push you to the ground. You didn't get hurt.
That's not how that works.
No, I mean my stomach. I mean my hernia, but
right.
no, I'm
Then
fine.
he was like walking away, like in a rapid manner, right?
I was on the ground. I mean, I'm sure.
But then he came at me, right?
Yeah.
I was afraid that he was going to attack me while I'm trying to cuff you.
I get it.
Right.
I get it.
So I tased him, right?
The male began complaining about his cuffs being too tight and that he was in severe pain.
Stop flopping.
I can't help it. It is throbbing so bad.
Well, the more you thrash, the more your head's gonna throb, my dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I was trying to be nothing but nice. Was I mother effing you guys?
No.
Was I being nothing but cool?
No. I mean, you were. That's what I'm saying.
God, come on.
He's like my kid.
I understand.
He's like my kid.
So what happened over at
The dog is like my kid. I hate when people say that. I hate when people say that. I understand that your pets are part of your family, but they are not your children.
Walmart where these guys would think you would steal shit?
I don't know. I mean, I have a retail theft in the past.
Right, but I don't care about your past. I care about right now.
No.
You weren't stealing shit.
No.
There's nothing going to be stolen in the truck.
No.
You can't steal some shit.
Oh, I put stuff in his bag.
You have stuff in his backpack?
No, in his bag. The Walmart. I thought he had a Walmart bag when they stopped him, but he didn't.
Okay.
Because I told him, you need to get out there with the dog, because I was worried about Ruck.
Right,
It was
right,
hot.
What's the dog's name?
Rucky.
Rucky?
Rucky. Ruckus. Rucky boy.
Somebody.
Rucky? Ruckus? Oh my god. I hope not as in Uncle Actually, I do hope. I hope as in Uncle Ruckus. So did she just admit that he stole?
I'll put it at Walmart. Nobody, it's all digital. Nobody hears. Nobody, it's all digital. Okay.
But, you know what I mean?
Well, you
I
keep
had
being
all
this way, I'm going to let you go with Rucky. You know what I mean? You keep being cool.
What are we doing with the dog? Animal control or?
I don't know if the female's gonna go to jail.
No, okay.
Is he a friendly dog?
So far, yeah.
Hey, buddy!
No.
How you going, bud? Who's a good boy?
I'm going to be honest, though. If you...
Aww. Doggo. Puppy dog.
You guys would have just sat down?
I know. I was just scared.
Like, you didn't steal over like $300
No, I didn't do no.
But you guys caused all this. If you guys would have just sat down, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to get in a fight with it.
Right.
Dude, I'm too old. I'm 46 years old.
Right.
I don't want to bang with nobody.
Right. I know.
Like, holy crap.
No.
How old's Rucky?
3.
Hey, bud.
So he's not a very old doggy.
Come here. Come here. Go for a walk.
Aww.
Come here.
Depending on what they get over there, I may cut her loose.
Okay.
To take care of the dog.
Yeah, but do you want us to go through the vehicle?
If we can get in
or
He sounds like a medium-sized puppy dog. He sounds just like a, probably like a 60-pound dog.
Come here. Come here.
All right, now will you do me a favor? Amy, if we help you down, will you sit right here? You can lean against the thing if you want. Is that truck yours?
Yeah. Yep.
That truck is yours?
Yeah.
Can we search the truck?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean,
I don't care. Oh boy, are you sure you don't care? 'Cause Sometimes you say that, but then you really should
Yeah, he's got
care.
his insulin can in there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so she just consented to the truck being searched, so we don't even need to get into the analysis on, you know, what the police can inspect, what they can search inside of the car because they're making a arrest. It's irrelevant. It's moot because she just consented.
Amy, how'd the truck get here?
We drove it.
After the Walmart thing?
I guess. Yeah.
Then
I
how did you
guess.
guys get on this side of the building?
What do you mean, I guess? That's either a yes or a no. What do you mean?
I started walking across the parking lot.
Why did you walk and he drove?
And then I saw him coming across the parking lot, and I said, "Where's the truck?"
Were you guys just in an argument, or did he just try
No,
to get
he
away?
took off.
Okay. Okay. He took off left.
Yeah.
Okay. What up?
Where did you get it?
Front. Yeah.
Came backwards?
Yeah, he came backwards. He locked up and came straight back.
Okay, right here. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I felt I had to because he was coming right at me.
No, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hate doing somebody in the front, but I had to.
Okay.
I was doing her. Yeah, he was straight back. He locked up and went straight back.
or anything?
No, he was up pretty quick.
Okay.
I mean, not up, but he didn't get knocked out.
Okay.
He probably has a bit of a concussion, though. That guy's probably hurting. He's not gonna feel good tomorrow.
You personally took Band-Aids?
No, I didn't. That was his bag. I didn't take nothing.
You didn't take
No,
anything?
I did not take nothing.
Okay.
She saw me in the store. I opened my purse right in front of her at the store.
You want to walk over to the vehicle?
Please. Oh.
On three. 1, 2, 3. Come here. Back. Good boy.
Aww.
Good boy.
Hi, your mama. Hi, Birdie. Come here. I know Mama's right here. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Mama's right here. Okay. Hey. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Fine. All right. Hold on. Mama's right here. Mom.
Oh, the poor puppy. The poor puppy. He's all freaked out now. Aww.
All right, do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes, I do, and I have insurance too. It's the only thing I have. My truck. We lost from home and everything.
Okay.
He's gonna go to jail too, I have a
I'm
feeling.
so sorry. I've never done that. I've never even raised my voice to officer. I'm so sorry. Please.
Well, because you're having a bad day now, I'm having a bad day.
I know. I'm sorry. And what sucks is like, kid, I mean, he's going away. He goes away next month.
For what?
Retail theft.
Oh! Another retail theft? What the fuck? Seriously, dude? Oh my god. This guy just can't not steal. What the hell?
Yeah, he took 8 years as the most, and he's May 30th. He's going. You know what I mean? So I think he just got to the point, like, you know what I mean? You guys have mentality point, I guess. Because he come and say, I don't care. Like,
She's throwing him under the bus.
Oh man.
Just totally under the bus.
Yeah, she's just does not care. She's just decided, fuck this guy. I'm telling him. I'm telling everything.
On the way over that
no,
way, am I?
no. I'll walk with you.
No, I don't want you to walk with me. So here's the deal.
Okay.
I'm going to forward charges for resisting.
Okay.
Okay? Because I'm going to be honest. I think if you would have stayed sat down,
I know.
then Kenny wouldn't have been tased, because Kenny wouldn't have thought he could run away, and then Kenny wouldn't have seen me trying to put you on the ground and tase her, and then
I feel bad.
right, and then ran at me, and then me think that I'm going to get overpowered or have to fight 2 people.
So do you listen to what the police officer's saying? Overpowered 2 people. This all goes towards, you know, the getting the discretion to use the non-lethal force, the taser that he did, and it's probably within his discretion, at least based on everything that I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, it's not like this was one person and he was like this was 2 people that he had to get control of.
I'm not gonna outrun yet. I guess that's what I was thinking. You know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure he was okay. But,
But I told
But
you.
you told me. I know. It was just happening so quick. You know what I mean? I didn't know what Kenny had done.
Right, so how do you think I feel?
You know, I got this lady coming
Like,
up to me saying,
if
"Open
you
your
were-
purse," and I'm like,
I didn't say open your
"No,
purse.
a lady in the store."
But
You know
I
what I
didn't
mean?
treat you nothing but decent.
I know you did.
I just gave you direct orders, and I explained why.
I know.
Yeah,
Right.
dude, you're
I
going
know.
away.
And that's the first I've ever done anything like that.
Okay.
Anything.
It was over there in the trash can.
Oh, I was gonna say. I didn't go by no trash can.
But there's no colognes or anything like that.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go inside and see how hard it is.
What's that? I'm sorry.
He says, you need more? Please, man, like him.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's just like, not just because he let me go. I mean, he was understanding, nice, like.
Well, this is the very first time. I can be wrong. I admit it. This is the very first time I've seen them actually let someone go while being. So she's simultaneously being charged for resisting arrest and being let go. It's the first time I've ever seen it. I guess
that's. Yeah, I think I'm with Attorney Tom here. This is probably the first time I've watched a police video where they charge somebody for resisting, but they let them go.
the lesson is have a dog. Have a dog with you, because they want, obviously, everybody wants the dog to be taken care of.
So over here, and I'm sorry, which is it? Is your boyfriend, husband, friend,
well, we're not
associate,
married.
whatever?
We've been together since 7th grade. Say what it is.
You might know him then. Huh? I'm sorry, what's his name? Is Ken.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what was going on over here then? It was just.
I don't know. I'm in the store. I said, okay, go ahead and go out and check on Lucky Boy, because I knew it was kind of getting warm, and that's my baby. And he said, okay, I'll meet you on the truck. I was grabbing some Gatorades, blah, blah, blah. And then I had this lady come up to me in Walmart, open your purse. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, where's the items you just took? I have my purse. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What items? Here's my purse. Will you have your ID? I said, I'm not giving you my ID. Who are you? Well, your husband just took off, and we got your plate number. And I'm like, what? So I start walking out, like, what's going on? I see the truck is gone, where it was parked. I'm like, I'm sorry. That's
right.
So she is just the bus meet Ken. Drive over Ken. Screw Ken. Holy shit.
Right. And I'm like, okay. So I'm.
Dude, she is throwing him under the bus.
Yup.
Walking across the parking lot.
And this is apparently somebody she's been with since 7th grade, and she's just like.
I didn't. And I'm sorry. I mean, I guess I should have saw it. Like, I'm like, you saw my purse. I don't have nothing on this. So I'm walking across the parking lot, and I get by the gas station, and I see him walking on the other side of this bank. And I can tell it's him because the bald head shining. And I said, what are you doing? What happened? And I couldn't understand what he was saying because we were too far apart. And then we met right in this big parking lot, and we didn't even get 2 seconds, and he pulled up. And then I was crying and worried about him, and I said, where's Rucky? He said, the truck's over there. And
the male was charged with resisting arrest, retail theft, and aggravated assault on a peace officer, while the female was charged with resisting arrest.
There you go. There you go. It could have been just retail theft if they zipped it. And also, you know, the cops didn't find anything on him. There's no way to pin what was found in the dumpster to them. I mean, maybe there is video. But you get the point. You get the point. Zip it. Enforce your rights. The way to enforce your rights is by hiring a lawyer and zipping it. Don't do what they did. Okay?
Don't talk. Don't say things. Don't make noises with your mouth while you are dealing with the police. That is never a good idea. Oh my goodness. Okay, where are we here? My phone still is not turned on. Interesting. Sovereign citizen duo learns the hard way that immigration laws apply to them. Oh boy. Oh boy. This should be good. Let's oh my. Let's take a look.
What type of uniform?
What is in your hand? You better put that down right now. Can you have Warville PD over here at...
Yes, please, get the sheriff out here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Your phone's not turned on.
It's hot.
It's not a good sign here.
I know.
It's not even hot. It's my charger.
Get the National Guard out here.
Yes, get the National Guard.
You better
Yes.
put that down right now. Can you have Warville PD over here at...
Yes, please, get the sheriff out here. Get the National Guard out here.
Get the National fucking Guard. Yeah, okay, keep screaming.
That worked. Plug me into that. Got the Apple's logo on.
Okay.
Oh look, it just turned on. That's 61%.
Then why did it
Welcome
die?
back to the Van Ballion channel, guys. Today we head to Oroville, Washington State, where this sovereign citizen, who we last saw talking his way into jail for the weekend, with the help of his wife.
Oh, Van Ballion. I love how sarcastic he is.
Returns the favour in this video by kicking off with border agents and threatening them with the National Guard, the governor, the sheriff, and calls 911 when they arrive to arrest his wife, who has a warrant for missing a court date to determine her immigration status.
Oops! Don't miss those court dates.
Right, let's get into the video.
Morning.
Stop. Stop. Yes, stop. We have an order of deportation for you because you didn't go to the court.
I sent a letter in.
I don't know what to tell you. We have an order from a judge right there that says you are been ordered removed and abstain.
Yeah, never miss your immigration day, your immigration hearing. That's probably like the last thing you want to miss.
Yeah, because you didn't go to the court.
Well, can I go get my stuff?
Nope. He can bring it and he knows where to bring it. Okay?
I don't agree with this.
It doesn't matter if you
I don't agree with this. What the fuck? I don't agree with this. Okay. You're not really. It's not necessary for you to agree with it.
What gives him the right to actually? Where am I being deported from?
Right here.
I'm not in the United States.
I'm not in the United States, she says, moments after asking where she's been deported from. So she doesn't know where she is, but she knows where she's not.
Oh my god. Why the fuck do these people exist? Why are there so many of them?
Funny that. If that doesn't tell you how manipulative and disingenuous sovereign citizens are, then I don't know what does. Anyway, now the husband, who, if you remember, threatened to call 911 on the police during his last appearance on this channel, which didn't go down too well, actually goes through with it this time and gets through to the operator, and this is the result.
My wife is being kidnapped by two men who need to put those on my wife.
My wife is being kidnapped by two men. Oh my god. Oh my god, he actually said it.
You need to get rid of your attitude right now.
Let's phone the governor's office. You do not have.
I'm at Central Avenue in Juniper.
Call the governor's office.
Call the governor's office? Call the governor's office. Because everybody just has his number on speed dial, right?
Alright. And your name, sir?
My name is Ray.
Alright, and what's a good phone number for you in case we get disconnected?
3770.
Okay.
Please hurry.
Exactly what's happening.
There's man, they wear no uniform. He thinks he's got a right, just put his hands on my wife and another. There's man, they wear no uniform.
Oh my god, he's lying? He's just saying that they ain't wearing no uniform. So that means he's lying.
He thinks he's got a right, just put his hands on my wife and another man doing the same thing to her.
Okay.
The dispatcher doesn't sound like she believes him. At all.
And are they assaulting her?
Yeah, yes, they are assaulting her.
Yes, they're assaulting her. They're putting her under arrest for not going to court when she needed to go. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
They're assaulting me, she says, stood there calmly getting handcuffed. They're assaulting me, she says, stood there calmly getting handcuffed. Also, it's probably not a good idea to call 911 and lie to the operator.
Yeah, to say that they're not uniformed and that they're assaulting her.
One, because misusing 911 is a crime, and two, well, it's a shitty thing to do for numerous reasons, and three, because it's probably not a good idea to draw attention to yourself when you drive around in a truck that may as well just have "arrest me" written all over it.
It probably has soft sit stuff all over it with like bumper stickers and shit.
Or maybe that's the plan. Who knows what goes through the mind of a soft sit. Anyway, things get even more bizarre now when he demands the sheriff and the National Guard. No, I am not kidding.
Call the governor's office, sweetheart. We should have had that. Call the governor's
Call the governor's office,
Your
sweetheart.
hand. You better put that down right now.
Sir, what type of uniform?
I want your names and badge numbers. You're not just gonna fuck us over.
I want your names and badge numbers. And then the dispatcher's gonna be like, wait a minute, are these police?
Will.
Will what?
We are the Border Patrol.
What, did you take an oath of office before you got that?
Ma'am, you're gonna get...
Did you take an oath of office before you got that? Yeah, they generally, Jesus Christ, do.
Now, if you're going to go to this much trouble to try and delegitimize these border agents, then it's probably not a good idea to call them Border Patrol in the title of your now deleted video. Just saying.
Hey, this is Agent Discharge with Border Patrol. Hey, you need to stop it.
He's hurting my wife.
He's not hurting your wife.
You piece. Yeah, none of y'all hold your up. No, do nothing. Hold your oath. No, thing.
Stop.
You hurt my wife, you mother. You hurt my wife.
Relax.
That's my wife. She's a woman.
That's my wife. She's a woman. Well, I would hope so if you're using the term wife. I would genuinely hope that she is your wife, or that she is a woman, if you are using the term wife.
Hey, we're gonna have to goddamn. Can you have Warville PD over here at?
Yes, please get the sheriff out here. Get the National Guard out here.
Yeah, because demanding the National Guard over a simple immigration issue doesn't make you look and sound like a complete sociopathic narcissist at all now, does it? Next, he'll be demanding to speak to Trump himself.
What are you talking
Long-time
about?
subscribers
Everybody
of mine
does
and Degeneration Nation will get that reference. For those who don't, click the second link in the description and enjoy.
Yep. India 6. All right, thanks. Bye.
This is messed up. Y'all aren't doing what you're supposed to do.
They are doing what they're supposed to do. It's very obvious. She didn't attend her immigration court hearing, and now she's under arrest.
I mean, you get to read. I don't know. This is up, man.
You need to calm down.
Well, how would you feel if your wife was being treated like that?
All she has to do is cooperate. There would be nothing happening.
But that would make sense, officer.
Well, who are we even hurting? We're walking down the street.
I've already told you why she's being arrested.
Let me see it.
You can see it, but
Let
you're
me
not
see
taking it.
what?
I want to go talk to her. I'm not going to talk.
I'll just stand right here until she calms down.
Can you talk? I want to talk to him.
In a second.
I love how they act
Man,
like
you
they're
ain't
gonna
another
call
piece
the
of shit. You don't
shots.
help nobody. You don't help nobody. You just take from people. You steal from people. You steal property. An old lady, she got ripped out because she didn't pay taxes on it.
That's what happens when you don't pay taxes on things. It gets taken away from you. I don't know what to tell you, my dude.
She didn't pay her property tax. When it's supposed, yeah, you don't know about law. You don't know nothing about law. You don't have any goddamn clue what law is. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to punch you in the face and I'm going to cage you.
Oh
Dude,
my.
you drive around in and got arrested in a truck with private property not for hire emblazoned all over the back of it.
Oh my god, seriously? I was right. It did have soft sit and moronity on it. Holy shit. Private property not for hire.
So you're not really in a position to question anyone on their knowledge of the law. Also, you pretty much begged the cop to take you to jail in the last video, so you can't blame anyone but yourself when you end up in a jail cell.
Hey, you want to wait until the cop comes?
That cop.
Fuck that cop.
They don't do nothing to help us. He's not gonna do it. All I can do is go home and get on the goddamn computer and start working.
Yep. Start working to upload your
I would
video.
like to have your names and badge numbers.
You got it. You know where our office is, don't you?
I would like to have your name and badge numbers.
Okay, you got something to write it down on? Get a piece of paper.
I've got a camera.
I've got a camera. Because everything needs to go on the camera.
I don't have a card either. You know where our office is, though, don't you?
Yeah, I know where the office is. We done settled this problem before.
Oh, have we? Then why is she being arrested?
There never was a court date. We got records of that. That's all right. We don't have to argue about it.
Is that because they have evidence that you knew about the court date and chose to ignore it by any chance? Also, isn't it nice of these so-called kidnappers to wait around for the Oroville Police Department to show up?
Yes, it is. Very nice. It's one of the very first instances of kidnappers waiting for the police to show up I've ever seen.
Y'all do what you gotta do, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Can I just say bye to my wife?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm calm right now.
Just stand right there.
Hey, sweetie. Don't stress. Don't worry. Okay. Just.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. Because I think I'm not in the United States of America. I think I'm just somewhere else. It's fine.
Just. Last time she had a woman molest her and put her hands between her fucking legs. Is that going to happen this time?
She had a woman molest her and put her hand between her legs. That's called a search, my friend. That's not molesting. That's called a search. And yes, it is going to happen again.
She's going to get searched. She's not.
For what? Where is what?
Procedure.
Procedure. It's over.
Weapons and drugs.
You know what we need? We need people that's going to protect our rights. Is what we need.
That's what they're doing. They're protecting the rights of the American people from people like your wife from coming in illegally.
Protect the rights of people.
You know where our office is. If you would like to form a complaint, you can more than happy to do that.
Think about this from man to man. If somebody just came off the street and dragged your wife and then took her and kidnapped her and put her, I don't give a shit about what that government bullshit is.
Says the guy who called that bullshit government for help not 5 minutes ago.
Right? He was calling for literal government bullshit to help him.
But instead ended up making a false report, which he should get arrested for.
Absolutely.
Also, comparing US Customs and Border agents arresting your wife with a legitimate removal order from a judge to random kidnappers dragging your wife off the street is ridiculous and, I must say, a bit unhinged.
A bit?
The whole thing
a bit unhinged.
Well, that's all it's about. I know where your office is.
Okay.
That still don't give me my wife back. We are married.
You're not married.
We are married. The Constitution says there's no
Then where's your certificate? Where's your marriage certificate? Where's the marriage license?
That's backed by the U.S. federal law. Hey, the law already argues it for me. All we gotta do is go take care of it.
The law already argues it for me.
And I would appreciate if you would law a little bit, and then hold people's rights more over that piece of paper you got in your hand.
Do you even know what you just said? Because I'm not sure what you just said.
Pieces of shit. Ain't nothing.
Oh, very mature response. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Now, do yourself a favour and get out of there before you end up in handcuffs as well for abuse of 911.
No shit. Because he's like, the other cops that he called are gonna show up and see that they're just police officers there.
Seriously, what did you expect to gain from calling the cops on border agents? Especially because, as we saw in your previous video, you don't respect their authority. Anyway, in subsequent and now deleted videos, he does confirm that she was in fact deported back to Canada. And as you heard...
Of course she's from Canada. And of course, I bet you she's from fucking Alberta, from the way that she sounded.
Although he refers to her as his wife, they weren't legally married.
Nope.
And I would have sympathy for their situation had they not gone full soft-sit and missed court dates for something as important as this. But it is what it is. You F around and you find out.
Yup. Pretty much. You don't get to mess around with your immigration hearing and expect to stay in the country. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I think I have one last video. I'm pretty sure. Did that, did that, did that, did that. Really? How quickly? Wow. Probably. So this is from the Canadian Constitution Foundation. It's called Politicians Are Banning Protests in Canada Using Bubble Zone Laws. Now, I'm not sure what that is. I'm hoping that we will find out. Let's switch our scene here and see what it has to say.
Hi there. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite issues, freedom of expression. And I want to talk about my concern that the right to freedom of expression is being gradually hollowed out and eroded by speech-free zones that are kind of dotting our cities.
Speech-free zone? Wait, what? Wait.
Right to freedom of expression is being gradually hollowed out and eroded by speech-free zones that are kind of dotting our cities.
Speech-free zones. That's not a... That is a terrifying concept, and I do not like it.
These are called bubble zones. Now, what began as bubbles to prevent protests close to abortion clinics has now sort of jumped the shark, with now politicians are claiming that their offices need speech-free zones to protect them from members of the public who disagree with them.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That is not okay. We should not be allowing politicians to hide behind stuff like that. At all.
Now, this is a new proposal by Liberal MP Marco Mendocino, who disagree with them. Now, this is a new proposal by Liberal MP Marco Mendocino.
Of course it is. Of course it's by fucking Mendocino. Oh my god.
And the proposal that he's made is to criminalize protests near politicians' offices. And I think it's really troubling. It will undermine democracy. And it's just part of a really negative trend that has accelerated lately with this expansion of bubble zones across our cities.
You know what this is in response to as well, right? This is in response to that whole rally in 2021 or 2021 when the truckers showed up to Ottawa to protest near the House of Commons, and they just don't want any of that to happen anymore.
I can't wait to tell you all about it. In Canada, I upload regular videos about our ongoing legal cases and about other interesting developments in constitutional law in Canada. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, hit like and subscribe below. It really helps my videos out a lot when you like or subscribe or ring the notification bell.
Right now.
It helps push my videos through the YouTube algorithm, which in turn leads to more ad revenue that we use to fight our legal cases. Also, please remember that nothing in my videos is ever legal advice. If you have your own legal question or problem, consult your own lawyer. So let's talk about bubble zones. Bubble zones are also known as safe access laws, and they prohibit protests within defined geographic areas. So
safe access laws. Okay. That just sounds like more soft language to me.
Laws, and they prohibit protests within defined geographic areas. So anyone who protests or has a demonstration within the protected bubble can face penalties, and sometimes those are criminal penalties. Bubble zones were originally developed to prevent protests and sidewalk counseling by pro-life demonstrators outside of abortion clinics.
I see so like it was meant to deal with the annoying people that stood outside abortion clinics with those pictures and the religious pamphlets and shit.
The first bubble zone law was introduced in 1995 in British Columbia. It was introduced in 1995, as I said, which was a few years after criminal bans on abortion were struck down. That happened in 1988. Now, the BC law prohibits protests.
Second. That happened in 1988, did it? Gee, I wonder which party was in power during that time.
Harassment,
the conservatives
sidewalk interference, which is sometimes called sidewalk counseling. That's when protesters try to talk women out of getting an abortion.
They hate. Anyway.
And it prohibits these types of protests in the bubble around abortion clinics and also around physicians' homes. And this
so that was supposed to protect physicians too. I understood. Like, that makes sense. That's a fair law.
Actually introduced following some pretty serious violence in the 90s, including the bombing of the famous Morgentaler abortion clinic in Toronto in 1992.
That's why there's the Morgentaler decision. We studied that in law class in grade 12, and that was a Supreme Court decision that was named after the Morgentaler abortion clinic.
And the shooting of a Vancouver-based abortion physician in 1994. He survived the shooting, but obviously this is a terrible thing. So this law was introduced, and when they were first introduced and proposed, they were rightly opposed by groups like the Canadian Civil Liberties Association, the BC Civil Liberties Association. We didn't exist at that time, but I imagine if we had, we would have also opposed this type of law as an unjustified limit on freedom of expression. Now, I'm somewhat skeptical that the CCLA and the BCCLA would oppose abortion bubble zones if they were introduced today. But I do think that they are the wrong response to the problem of the violence that we saw physicians and abortion clinics experiencing. Violence is, of course, already...
I think that's accurate. I think that as much as you want to protect like the physicians that are providing these procedures safely, I think curtailing speech is not the way to stop violence from happening.
Already criminalized, and those who are intent on committing criminal acts of violence won't be dissuaded because suddenly there's a 50-meter bubble zone around the space they had planned to commit murder. It's not...
That's very true. Oh, I can't do this now. There's a bubble zone here. Yeah, that's not ever gonna happen.
Not like they'll be saying to themselves, oh, well, I want to murder this person, but I better not do it in this bubble.
No.
I mean, give me a break. I think the problem is the need to enforce the law. The bubble zone, the way it works, is a violation of the expressive rights of demonstrators.
Yep.
And if you want to deal with violence, harassment, blockading, all of that can be dealt with using existing laws.
Yes. Absolutely. We don't need to silence people in order to get violence to stop.
But, you know, bubble zones around abortion clinics, they have survived charter challenges. They were upheld in a 1996 decision called R.V. Lewis at the BC Supreme Court, where the court, in that case, R.V. Lewis, held that the bubble law violated the right to freedom of expression, but it was a justified limit on the right to freedom of expression.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that happens with the charter. There are decisions that, because there are people who will challenge the charter saying, and when you hear the charter, that's our version of the Bill of Rights. And the Supreme Court will look at the challenge and they will determine, yes, this is a violation of one of the sections or more of the sections of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, or they will say, no, it doesn't. Or in the third decision, which is this one, they'll say, yes, it does violate it, but it's justified. It's a justifiable violation in order to keep things calm and keep the violence from happening. I'm going to speed this up a tiny bit. There we go.
And in upholding that law, the court in BC held that healthcare has fundamental value in our society. A woman's right to access healthcare without unnecessary loss of privacy and dignity is no more than the right of every Canadian to access healthcare. So that's the state of the law. But what people may not have noticed is, you know, that law was upheld, but all of a sudden there has been what I would describe as a pretty rapid expansion in the use of bubble zones for all kinds of other purposes. And I'll just go through a few of them. They've happened recently. It all sort of seems to have started around 2018 when Ontario introduced an abortion safe access law, an abortion bubble law, but then it kind of went out into all kinds of other areas of expression. So in 2020, Calgary City Council passed the School Safe Zones bylaw amendment.
In 2020, huh? Interesting timing, but okay.
To prohibit what is called advocacy messaging on signs within 150 meters of a school boundary. So that's actually much larger than the 50 meters around abortion clinics in BC. Signs around schools that have any advocacy message cannot be larger than a piece of paper. The same year, Alberta enacted the Critical Infrastructure Defence Act, which bans blockades and willfully entering on any essential infrastructure without lawful right, justification, or excuse.
So this feels like a response to COVID protests and messaging in regards to advocating for like less stringent policies. That's what this feels
been pretty widely criticized, including by us at the CCF, for violating charter rights. Blockades are already prohibited under existing law, and banning willfully entering on any essential infrastructure without lawful right, or justification, or excuse is kind of just going too far by effectively banning all forms of protesting in certain locations where those rights, frankly, ought to be protected.
Right. Like, just saying arbitrarily you can't protest here, that shouldn't be allowed.
Now in 2021, the Ontario Liberals and NDP both introduced opposition bills calling for bubble zones around hospitals, schools, and daycares. That bill did not pass, but Quebec passed a bubble zone banning protests near hospitals and schools. These were all triggered by protests related to COVID-19.
Oh look, I was right. I was actually right about something.
In Ottawa last year, there was a proposal by a school board trustee and pro-mask advocate named Millie Kaplan-Mirth. She wanted to ban protests outside of schools. I mean, she is a sort of famous COVID warrior in Canada, but her concern about protests around schools, in that case, actually was her. She didn't want protests about critical gender theory being taught in schools. So she wanted.
Yeah, she wanted people who were against the whole critical gender theory thing being taught. She didn't want them to be able to speak near the school about it.
A bubble zone law to ban that. And it doesn't end there. They keep going. You know, in 2023, Calgary passed the Safe and Inclusive Bylaw, which prohibits, quote, specified protests within 100 meters of a library or community center.
Oh, come on.
This one is especially egregious because it bans protests based on the subject matter of the protests. So you could have a protest near a library or community center about taxes, labor issues, the environment, things like that, but not about issues related to race. So think Black Lives Matter protests, about gender. So think protests about Drag Queen Story Hour.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely and 100 meters. That is a big span. Like, that is a large span.
Or about disability. So think protests about drug legalization, even either for or against, which is addiction as a disability issue. So that is a really problematic law, which we actually are challenging. The hearing's in 2025, so I have a bunch of videos about that particular Calgary bylaw as well. But look, it's not just municipalities, it's not just provinces that are enacting these problematic bubble zone laws. The federal government has joined the bubble club. In 2023, the Trudeau government passed Bill C-3, which prevents protests that obstruct access to hospitals and healthcare facilities, which of course is redundant because anything that is a blockade could already be dealt with using existing law.
Why does the Trudeau government and all of the governments right now seem to feel like putting out redundant bills?
Also been calls for bubble zones that have not yet happened. Most recently, Toronto City Councillor Brad Bradford and Vaughan Mayor Stephen Del Duca have both separately called for bubble zones around places of worship. But I think it's the most recent one by Marco Mendocino, this Liberal MP, that is the cherry on top for me. So Mendocino has suggested adding politicians' offices to this already lengthy list of places where protests are banned.
Absolutely uncalled for. The one place you should be allowed to protest is outside a politician's office.
On July 18th, he told the Canadian Press that the government should establish, quote, protective zones around the offices for members of parliament. And under his proposal, anyone who, quote, intimidated or otherwise harassed people within the buffer zone of perhaps...
If you protest outside of a politician's office...
spaces come under this umbrella of...
That's not okay. No. And this is why, right here, the Liberals are not going to win, regardless of if Trudeau gets replaced or not.
In protest, our cities are moving closer to becoming one giant bubble where expression of dissent or discord is only permitted in, small, special little protest zone envelopes. And to be clear, all bubble zones are a problem. As I've said, I don't like the banning of protests near abortion clinics either, even though they have been upheld by the courts. I think criminal activity and harassment, if it's taking place, it can be dealt with using existing law.
I agree.
But the rationale that the court used to uphold the abortion bubble zones in the Lewis case, it just doesn't apply to these more recent expansions that began in 2020. The new bubble zone laws are generally, but not always, in response to vitriolic speech that some of that speech may or may not be worthy of social condemnation, but
that's the thing. Social condemnation is not the same thing as a legal charge. And you should be allowed to say something vitriolic and horrible, but everybody else should be allowed to socially condemn it.
But vitriolic speech is obviously constitutionally protected by our charter. The more recent bubble zones have also not yet faced court scrutiny. And I would say they're fundamentally different. Let's look at how they're different by considering the Calgary bylaw that I mentioned that bans specified protests near libraries and community centers.
Bad.
As I said, we are challenging that particular bylaw with a hearing scheduled in early 2025. So here's a big part of the difference. Unlike abortion clinics, community centers and libraries can be and are used to host political debates during elections.
Absolutely. They're places where you go to vote, for Christ's sakes. They're where polling stations are set up.
I mean, the concept of a banning a protest around a political debate is fundamentally undemocratic. Libraries are also centers for learning, for exploration, for discovery, and for competing ideas. This law silences debate, which is really happening in the town square. If the concern is that protests might block people from entering the library, as I've said, that's redundant. Existing laws already prohibit criminal harassment and intimidation, and injunctions can be used to address situations where specific places are being threatened.
Yeah, like if people are actively blocking the entrance to somewhere and protesting, then there are already laws that can allow the police to come in and be like, all right, disperse. You're not peacefully protesting. You're actively blocking stuff.
In fact, I think it's the lack of enforcement of existing laws that is in part fueling the demand for bubble zones. The desire for these, speech-free zones comes from a desire, I think, if I'm giving the best faith interpretation of why people want these, is because they want to protect who they perceive as vulnerable people. Like the example I gave of violence around abortion clinics, there have been physical threats of violence and property damage that have targeted Jewish communities and synagogues and Jewish schools. And Jewish people and children are facing an unprecedented wave of anti-Semitism and threats. And this is, of course, noxious. This is a huge societal concern.
It is.
Bubble zones will not cure anti-Semitism.
No.
We have existing laws that deal with...
Absolutely they will not. The fact that anybody thinks that bubble zones will cure anything is laughable.
This is a huge societal concern. But bubble zones will not cure anti-Semitism. We have existing laws that deal with criminal harassment, intimidation, road blockades, the occupation of property, and the incitement of violence and hatred. The police do not need more tools.
No.
They need to use the tools that they already have, but have really shown an unwillingness to actually deploy. This has been a big part of the problem with anti-Semitic protests in Toronto, is that the police don't actually take action using the tools that they have. When
They just let the anti-Semitism go.
Concern is violence. Like the example I gave of violence around abortion clinics, the police really need to enforce existing law.
Yes.
Someone who is intent on firebombing a synagogue, a criminal and violent act, they're not going to think, oh, well, I better not commit arson because there's a bubble zone.
No.
Arson is already a serious offense. So the police, what they need to do is stop people from committing arson, not create this bubble zone. But if
I agree. It's the same thing as sitting there saying we need to get rid of all of these guns and ban all of these types of guns, and that will stop illegal firearms from coming here. It's like, no. Criminals don't care what guns are legal or not. As long as they can get money for the guns that they're bringing in from the States, they're going to continue to do so. It doesn't matter what laws you have that are punishing the law-abiding citizens that have their guns registered and legally procured. And these bubble zones are the same thing, where you have impinged speech in order to protect people who are already protected with other laws. And that's just, to me, a form of silencing the public. And it might sound conspiratorial, it might sound tinfoil hat-like, but that is very much, to me, what that sounds like. It sounds like government trying to enact laws that silence the people from speaking out against what the government is doing wrong. And that's not okay. And that, in particular, is why I think the federal Liberals don't stand a chance, because they are trying to enact laws like this. And Canadians aren't as stupid or as blind to the goings-on of their government as the government would hope. There are some people that are blind to it, but there are a lot more who are not. And I think it's going to show quite strongly in the next election just how not blind to the government's bullshit the people have been. Alright, we did all the videos in 3 hours and 4 minutes, you guys. And I'm going to go and eat something, and then I will be back for the combat hour, probably at about 10 p.m. So please come back for that. That'll just be on Twitch. I hope you guys had fun. I'm sorry that I missed the whole weekend, but I'll be back on YouTube tomorrow night at 6. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Twitch in 50 minutes. So thank